You got to put sneakers on your knees and walk around on your knees the whole time.
And be like sprinting but never dribbling the ball on the court.
Do it right now. Let me see you could take off your shoes and put your knees into your shoes. Do you have this angle?
I think you could pull it off.
This is the best NBA finals preview of all time. Just saying that right now. We're going to have Russillo on next week. Yeah. Yeah.
There he is. There's Deuce Griffin.
Deuce Griffin.
He's adorable.
You get to go to every finals game, Deuce. On today's Pardon My Take, we have a very special guest, Mike Breen, legend of the game. Awesome convo with him. Trying to get him to do a triple bang at some point in the future. And speaking of Mike Breen, the NBA Finals are set. We're going to talk about our first impressions, Mavs versus Celtics. Also say goodbye to the Timberwolves. And a hell of a run, but fall short. In 5, we got some hockey talk. I have some baseball topics for you, PFT. I'm going to throw at you. I want your takes.
Bring them. I'm a Seahead.
We got Firefest of the Week, a great Friday show sending you into the weekend, and it's all brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. We're this close to crowning an NBA champ, and with the action heating up on the court, it's even hotter at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. There's only so many games left, and DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered with the same game parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. Don't miss out, or you'll have to wait until next NBA season to place your bets. It's super easy for first-time users to get started. Try betting on something simple like picking a team to win. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, select your squad, and place your first bet. It's that simple. New to DraftKings, listen up. New customers can get a no-sweat bet up to $1,500. Just deposit at least $5, and you'll get a bonus bet back equal to your first bet. If it doesn't hit, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for new customers to get a no-sweat bet up to $1,500 if your first bet doesn't hit. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. I am on legacy bets, so tune in. I'm not an expert, but I am 3-1 in legacy bets. Basically, the strategy is pick a guy who has not been playing well or up to his standards, and then just declare it a legacy game for him. So tonight was P.J. Washington over his points, rebounds, and assists that hit, and Chris Kreider scoring a goal for the New York Rangers that hit. So go check out the DraftKings app right now. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for new customers. Get a no-sweat bet up to $1,500 if your first bet doesn't hit. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Pardon My Take, presented by DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for new customers. Get a no-sweat bet up to $1,500 if your first bet doesn't hit. Today is Friday, May 31st, and we have an NBA Finals. The Dallas Mavericks versus the Boston Celtics. Hank is wearing his Boston Remembers shirt with Lucky stomping on Kyrie.
It's a JFK revenge series.
It is. And we're ready to go. The NBA Finals are set. We had a moment, so we obviously had a week with Memorial Day. We had a show on Tuesday. The Timberwolves won on Tuesday night, and then tonight they got eliminated. Credit to the Timberwolves for not getting swept. Anthony Edwards said he's never been swept in his career. He did also say I've only been in 4 playoff series. So he was kind of talking like a 20-year vet in the NBA.
Yeah.
But never been swept.
Never been swept. That's important. It's important to keep a clean sheet on the sweeps. Adam Silver, very happy that we at least got one more game.
A little closer.
It would have been weird if the series just ended on Tuesday night, then we had to wait a very long time for the NBA Finals to start. So
still do.
We still do.
It
could have been worse. They called him Scott Foster. Everyone was like, "Oh, Scott Foster, the extender." He tried to give that game to the Mavericks on Tuesday. Tried his very best.
Yes,
his very damnedest. But yeah, went 5 games. Timberwolves fans, Minnesota fans. I don't know if you're listening to this show. My guess is you probably are. I think Timberwolves fans are they're very happy with how this season went. Obviously not happy with this series, but
Yeah, I'd say they're not happy right now.
but getting to a Western Conference final, if you look at perspective in the Giannis terms, it was a good season for you. It was
But-
a good year.
They lost to a team that they couldn't beat them.
Yeah, that's true. And also, if you're a Timberwolves fan, God bless you, because you have to root for Karl Anthony Towns, and he must be so infuriating to root
They're
for.
doing some stat padding tonight.
I'm just saying he is probably the hardest player to like fully delude yourself into getting behind in the NBA.
Rudy Gobert's pretty fire.
But
Yeah,
also,
well,
you
that's what I'm
have
saying. They're on the same
Yeah,
team,
I know.
but I feel like you can be like, "Oh, Rudy, we don't expect anything from him on offense."
Which was a weird strategy when they were like, let's run the offense through Rudy in the first quarter. I think he had like 6 or 7 shots.
They'll never see it coming.
Yeah,
But yeah, Karl Anthony Towns, and to his credit, he played really, really well in Game 4.
he did.
He had a great Game 4.
Bounce back game.
He could not be as bad as he's been in the past, and yeah, he had that blip. That was his legacy game.
Yep.
It was Game 4, and then it's so infuriating to see a guy who's that big be so passive.
And also, like, cannot wipe a smile off his face.
Yeah,
I was saying this. I can't remember. I didn't remember when I was saying this because it feels like all these weeks have just blended together. But when they show like going into break and they do the bumps and it's like Luka like staring at someone, Kyrie like crossover, Ant yelling in the crowd, and then they show Karl Anthony Towns. It always looks like he's been practicing whatever he's doing for 20 minutes in the mirror right before they came out.
yeah.
God, this is my pumped up face.
This is my 3-point Dougie.
Yeah, he's kind of smiling, and you're like, God damn it. Yeah, they were stat padding tonight. Also, the Timberwolves, you lost the game the minute you went with those jerseys.
Terrible jerseys. Terrible.
those-
You got
those-
the good classic one. Well, it's two things.
Max, I saw your face. I after I looked at him a little more, Max can't speak. So when I sat down next to him to watch the game, he's like, he's like, duh. I was like, yeah, the jerseys.
Yeah, jerseys are terrible. those are
That's exactly how it happened. He couldn't get it out, but I know his brain so well that when we flipped on the game, he just started making grunts. I was like, Max, down boy. I know the jerseys are different.
those
It's
are
okay.
They're not back against the wall jerseys.
No.
Those are Game 2 jerseys.
Yeah.
Bring those out preferably Game 2 on the road. Wear those uniforms.
Early a game 2 of the season
Yes.
in October.
That's a in-season tournament jersey.
Yes.
That's what you should be wearing that for. And then they made their half-court logo bigger,
Mm-hmm.
which is stupid. I like it when it's the only small logo in the league.
Yeah.
I like it. It stands out because it's so small, and they're falling into the trap that everybody else has been doing. I think we've talked about it on the show. The half-court logos are getting bigger so that the announcers can be like another logo 3.
Another logo 3. Hank, you want to just be I was saying before we should maybe get some headphones for you for the Luka glazing so you can put them on so you don't have to hear.
no, bring it. It's gonna be one of your last couple.
This game was over.
Get him in.
This game was over when Luka Doncic outscored the Timberwolves in the first quarter by himself.
true.
He could not miss. He was hitting shots and the net wasn't moving. He hit Stathole, our guy Stathole texted me. He said that he hit 165 feet worth of shots in the first quarter.
That's so many feet.
Yeah. So it ties Steph Curry for most feet on shots made in first quarter
Wow.
of a playoff game.
It's huge.
Hang
on
the
record.
banner.
In history,
Curry did it versus Boston in 2022.
I mean, those
That's
are
incredible.
those are the two best.
165 feet of shots is a lot of shots, Hank. It's a lot of feet.
That's so many feet.
You know how many feet?
Cool stat.
You know how many feet the court is?
99.
I think it's 94, right?
Yeah.
94 feet. I know ball. Yeah, that's like
What was that
99
guess?
pugs.
that's a court and a half worth of feet. It's pretty impressive.
That's a pretty impressive stat. Also, are you okay with the glazing?
No, again, like you're not gonna have many left. I want you to get them in while you can.
The Tuesday night's game, I know the Mavs lost, and it was I do like put a little what are you gonna say?
I don't know how you're gonna glaze Luka from Tuesday, but
Yeah, I am. Don't worry, I'm gonna land the plane. And I made fun of the
that's a pro glazer. That's a
What?
no.
what? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You're not getting upset
Go
though.
ahead. Go ahead.
Jay Glazer.
Yeah. I'm pro Glazer. Okay. I do give the Timberwolves a little bit of credit for not giving up because they gave up tonight, but they didn't get swept.
Yeah.
And I made fun of the Anthony Edwards quote, but I love Anthony Edwards and I like how he's wired. And I actually think in a weird way he probably at halftime was in game 5 being like, they still can't beat us down 30 or whatever. The Luka lob to Derek Jones was one of the coolest lobs I've ever seen. He threw an alley-oop when Derek Jones was still past the three-point line. And it was like his lobs are just so precise. They lost the game, Hank. But do you know what lob I'm talking
Yeah, it was a
about?
good lob. And he had that kick out, drive, pass.
The kick out drive pass. That's going to go down as one of the best assists that will never show up.
Yeah, scroll
Because
down, Max.
it was one of the best passes I've ever seen. Hit it off the back rim.
He threw a lob that Derek Jones was behind the 3-point line when it released his hands, when Luka threw the ball, and it was just a perfect pass. Luka's really good, Max. Hank. I just said Max.
He's a good player. They're a good team.
He did have
a really good player.
He did have a heat check of a lob tonight, though.
Yeah,
he was feeling himself in the lobs a little bit, and he threw one that went. I think it went over the backboard. Yeah, it's a great lob.
It's a great lob.
Great lob. Good
All
lob.
right, so that was my glazing of Luka. He is
20-foot
really
lob.
fucking good.
Most feet in lob. He had 20 feet worth of lobs.
Hank's acting all cocky right now. He was watching that game uneasy.
Oh, he
I
was
wanted a
mad.
good game. I wanted to
Uneasy.
keep
He
watching
was mad.
basketball. I don't want to wait another.
He was
was-
like, "This is pathetic what the
Yes,
T-Wolves are
yes.
doing. This is
It
disgusting."
was.
You're afraid of Luka, though.
I'm not. I knew we were playing the Mavs. There was no doubt in my mind we were playing the Mavs.
Yeah, but you saw what Luka did in the first quarter.
Factor
and it
fiction.
made
That
you
was an
think.
embarrassing, disgusting performance in a elimination game from the Timberwolves.
Yeah, no, especially the second half when
Thank
they were
you.
stat padding. I agree, but it was also the game was over because Luka.
That's just unbiased.
Luka
observer.
outscored, but you agree that the game was over when Luka came out and said, "I'm going to beat the Timberwolves by myself in the first quarter."
Yeah, I mean the series was over when they went up 3-0.
Right, but that was when you go up 3-0 and then you lose game 4 and then you go back to the other guy's gym and it's like, okay, if the T-Wolves come out hot here, we could have an interesting scenario. Luka basically shut that all down by himself and was like, I'm giving you no hope. I'm giving you no chance. I'm going to hit 165 feet of shots. That's a lot of feet, Hank. Just say it's a lot of feet.
It's a lot of feet.
It's a lot of feet.
Who the fuck tracks feet?
Jerry.
But it's a lot of feet.
It's a lot of feet.
If there was, I will say that there.
I love that
Celtics-
Hank's getting triggered by a
Yeah, foot. You have the opposite of a foot fetish.
165
disgusted
feet,
by feet.
is just you're mad about that.
The Celtics almost did it last year, and obviously it's never happened in the NBA, but when it does happen in the NBA, it will happen almost like it did last year, and I thought potentially maybe this year, where it's going to be the home team. If the Timberwolves win tonight, they somehow win Game 6. They have home Game 7.
Hank's very
That's
selective.
that's
in
the
his, he's very selective
path.
in his opinions about feet because he does not like the feet stat, but all he thinks about is Kyrie Irving's feet on Lucky's face. You can't count one foot and then not count the other. Do you not like feet? Is that why it didn't work out with
No,
Tiff?
I've never been a foot guy. I don't really understand the appeal.
But 165 feet. That's a lot of feet.
lot of
That's
feet.
a lot of feet. Hank, you bring up a good point that the 3-0 coming back, it's very, very hard to do. Never been done in the NBA. The only solace that I think Minnesota fans should have tonight, well, one is that you have Anthony Edwards. And I don't know what Karl Anthony Towns, like PFT said, is maddening to root for.
I don't think there's a word to describe. We need to figure out, we need to maybe invent a word like the Germans would do to describe Karl Anthony Towns and how frustrating it is to watch him if you're a fan of his and to see how aloof he is in the biggest moments.
Well, I also, Karl Anthony Towns is a self-proclaimed best big man shooter of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you have to have post moves, like really good post moves, to be able to say that, to claim that.
Right.
You're just a tall shooter.
Otherwise, he's just kind of like a chubby KD.
Right. You're a tall shooter.
Yeah.
That's
You're-
it.
But you're not a big man.
No.
There's a difference between being tall and being a big man.
Yeah, dude, back someone down in the post. But the solace for the Timberwolves fans, because this was a very fun season and it got a little crazy with the Anthony Edwards hype, which was not Anthony Edwards' fault, not Timberwolves fans' fault. Media, I took some blame for it as well. I fell in love with watching Anthony Edwards play basketball. This actually, in a weird way, you didn't have a classic Minnesota loss. A classic Minnesota loss would have been winning Game 5 and then losing Game 6 in a buzzer beater or something. So because it wouldn't be classic Minnesota loss to get all the way to Game 7. You can't get all the way there, but getting a play away from being a game away.
I think if you get to Game 7 and you get blown out like you did tonight, that's a Minnesota loss.
Yeah, but this was not a Minnesota loss
Yeah,
because it was like you had the moment like, oh, we won one game. Who knows what's going to happen? And then it was just over.
It's just the better team won.
Yeah, it was just over.
That's it.
Anthony Edwards still doesn't know if they can beat him.
That's it. Didn't get swept.
Didn't get swept. Kyrie also is playing insane basketball right now.
Kyrie's a great player.
Derek Lively is back, which is very important. I think he's their leader in plus minus. He's very important to their team. Kristaps
Back.
Working his
officially.
way back.
He posted today, said see you in the finals.
All right.
Hey, love that. All right, so let's talk about the finals.
Let's talk about it.
Let's
Can I-
talk about the finals.
Can I glaze lucky real quick?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me glaze lucky.
Please.
All right. Kyrie Irving has lost his last 10 games
Mm-hmm.
against Lucky.
And the Sage. Remember he saged.
He saged it, yeah. But that sage didn't take.
Sage didn't take. Do you think he'll resage?
I think he should resage.
Oh man.
Do you
that
think
would
he's
be-
going to resage?
What
Hank?
will you do if he resages?
I mean, saging is whatever, spiritual. I don't really have a problem with that.
But what would you do if he resages? Because that might be the Sage that takes.
No, I mean, it's.
I think
If you believe in
Oh,
that
no.
shit, that's all for you.
He's-
But like,
This could be a mistake.
the only way to defeat Sage is with crystals.
Yep.
You got to
You
get
need
some
the jerk
crystals.
off crystals.
You got to get some
we
crystals.
could
buddy.
we could resage right back.
Oh yeah, get some sage for the gambling cave.
If he sages, I will.
Hank, are you
Respond in
going?
kind.
Are you going to be on the wood at any point in this series?
I don't think so. Well,
Oh, no.
I don't think Dave's inviting me. But even going to the games, the schedule does not line up great for anything.
So you couldn't even sage if you wanted to.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see. I gotta. The schedule sucks for me being able to go to a game, which I'm sure everyone
is
was wondering.
The number one.
Yeah, I'm sure
important
everyone
part.
was curious, like how that was going to factor in, and that's the answer.
What about an away game
Oh, it's not good for that either until like Game 6.
with Ms. Comas?
Game 3, I guess Dave said it. We're going to the Brady. We got invited by the Patriots to Brady's retirement ceremony. It's fucking in the middle of Game 4
What?
or Game 3.
Why
They're
would
gonna
they
have
do
to
that?
change that around.
Wednesday, June 12th is Game 3. Friday the 14th.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Wednesday,
so why
June
would they
12th.
do that?
Because they tried to do 6/12 for Brady, I guess, and weren't
Why
thinking
wouldn't they
about
just
the
do it
schedule.
in the middle of the day?
That's what I thought it was until today.
Wow.
It's at night.
According to I was listening to Kirk and Dave on the Unnamed Show, and Kirk was like, "It's at night. It's supposed to end at 9:30."
It's
Which
Is
I
it
guess
in
will be
the-
like
Is it in?
it's at Foxborough.
So you're gonna be with the lighthouse.
Yeah,
Oh, that's nice.
yeah, that's nice. A good consolation prize.
Yeah, that's huge.
Is Tom Brady bad sports town?
They'll
Tom
just
Brady
put it
should
up on the
move
jumbotron.
He should move it.
I'm curious. I don't know what they're. I'm curious what they're gonna do. I thought it was just like a day
Will
ceremony.
you be in a
thing.
suite?
I don't know.
If you're in a suite, then you're fine.
I don't know what Mr. Kraft's got in store for us.
You said a lot of bad things about the dynasty, Doc.
Yeah.
It'd be a shame if Mr. Kraft got a hold of that before you
Mm-hmm.
were his personal guest. What were you saying about him getting jerked off?
Nothing.
Oh.
Do you think? You think Joe Missoula's jiu-jitsu instructor is Giselle's?
I said it, not you. Hank loves Mr. Kraft. What?
Do you think? Well, I'm not gonna say it again. All right, I'll say it again. You think Joe Missoula and Giselle have the same jiu-jitsu person?
Oh,
It's possible.
it is possible. when are you going? What is it?
6/12.
What is it?
It is Tom Brady's retirement ceremony.
And who invited
Induction into the Hall of Fame. Well, not me personally.
Oh.
He should have invited you
The
personally.
Brady
though.
Four were invited.
Yeah, you went to prison for him.
I did.
you? All right, let's talk about the NBA Finals.
Did they
What-
drop those charges, by the way?
In Florida.
No, that one Hank when Hank got arrested.
Oh yeah,
Drop those.
yeah. 6 months, no bad behavior.
Nice, nice. Hank, how are you feeling? I'll say this right now. I have to look into this series some more. I have to crunch.
You've been
some
saying
data.
that for a month.
Well, the series hasn't started yet.
True.
I'm going to look into some series, but I'll give you my gut knee-jerk prediction, which I will not be held to because I'm going to give my final prediction when we have Russillo on next week. My gut knee-jerk is Celtics in 7.
I'm thinking Celtics in 6.
That's my gut knee-jerk.
I think it's gonna be a role player series. I think it's gonna come down to our defense will obviously stop Kyrie and Luka as much as they can. They're gonna make them pass the ball, and if their guys have been hitting shots all playoffs. But it's gonna be the same for us. It's gonna be
I also think this weirdly works.
But we have a better
the way
role players.
the way Luka's been playing, the way Kyrie's been playing. I think this is weirdly like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Like they are going to step up to the challenge because this is the ultimate challenge of these two guys, and Luka especially being anointed the number one guy.
They know Kyrie.
have to do it.
Jaylen Brown has played Kyrie. He knows his game. He knows what he's got to do. They match up in practice for years.
Could you say the same though?
He didn't think about that.
Yeah, because Jalen doesn't.
They-
Sometimes
yeah.
it takes a while for people to realize he can't dribble left.
Yeah, but it's Jalen neutralizing Kyrie is better for the Celtics than Kyrie neutralizing Jaylen
Yeah,
Brown.
that's true.
Celtics have
Oh yeah, that's
bigger-
it.
Celtics
That's where-
like
that's a fair point.
if they
The role
neutralize each
players,
other, then the
role players.
Celtics come out on top. In
Yeah,
that
I think the
situation.
Celtics have a better like depth, and Drew Holiday is going to be important in this series.
Drew Holiday and Porzingis. That's the biggest difference. That's what makes me feel much better about this series, even though I felt pretty good against the Warriors. But Drew Holiday and Porzingis just are going to be the reason we win the.
What's your knee-jerk gut reaction?
My gut reaction is Celtics in 5.
Love
Whoa.
it. Love it.
I think so. I'm a bigger Celtics fan than Hank is, I guess.
Yeah, he said
Because like I was thinking about our role players, and I actually think that I would say that Jalen over cancels out Kyrie.
Max just put up his hand.
I
Wait,
disagree.
What do you disagree
Personally.
with, Max? What do you think?
I think that this is going to be a very close series. It's going to come down to very tight games at the end, and one team has two guys that have proven to be excellent closers against very good teams in this playoffs, and the Celtics have looked a little iffy.
I mean, that doesn't sound like Max.
They've only
We
lost two
came
games.
back. We were down in the fourth quarter in 3 games in the Eastern Conference Finals.
You know
We
what?
won them all.
Against shit Pacers.
They've only
They
lost
made it
2
to the
games.
Eastern Conference Finals, Max.
Yeah, playing against 4 teams who didn't have their best player.
You know what? Celtics in 4.
I mean, listen, the Mavericks, like you can't debate. That
Like,
they
did the
had a-
Celtics close? You said that they did better closers. Did the Celtics close those games or not? Fact or fiction?
One of the Pacers just gave them the game.
Okay,
They literally
so it
just
wasn't
gave
so like
them
if
the
a
game.
closer comes in and makes 3
No,
outs.
yes,
but it's
you can't
the
watch those
offense's
games
fault.
and you watch the Mavericks and you see what Kyrie and Luka did and hit incredible shots against like all odds to win those games.
What
And then
about
you
when the
see what-
Celtics were down 3 with didn't have the ball with 8 seconds left and won the fucking game?
The Pacers
Talk
just
about
threw
against
them
all
the
odds.
ball.
Got it.
The
So now
Pacers
it's
just
nothing,
threw them the
nothing
ball.
to do with Jaylen Brown. Nothing to do with the Celtics. Just
The
that was just the
Pacers
Pacers.
threw them the ball.
You know
like
what?
the Pacers lost that game.
But if Jaylen Brown misses the shot, like he had to make the shot,
correct,
right?
Correct.
Okay.
That's a good shot.
I think the harder you work, the luckier you get. How about that? And one team has lucky on their side,
Yep.
and that's the fucking Boston Celtics.
I said it.
To me, this is lucky legacy.
I
It's a
s-
lucky legacy series.
I said it Tuesday though. You can't ding the Celtics for who they play when they lost 2 games.
They're the best team in the NBA. What about the regular season, Max? Does that matter? Or did they just play tomato cans then too?
I mean, I've heard you say
They
that
did
you
play
don't
a
care
lot of
about the
tomato
regular
cans.
season.
But
Yeah.
with that said, Hank, you have to say like when someone says who's been more tested in these playoffs, the Mavericks have been more tested
For sure.
So it's a fascinating series because it basically is like if you take who the Celtics have played and you're like, will they be up for the Mavericks test? There's a chance like, oh shit, they're nowhere near the Mavericks. I don't think that's what's going to happen, but it's like the stakes for your happiness are so wild right now.
Yeah.
Because you could either win a championship or you could get absolutely clowned on the internet.
And that's why, Max, something you'll never understand. Like, you just have to go all in. I'm not going to be scared. I'm not going to be worried about it.
What are
I
you
disagree
talking
with that.
about?
Max
I do
goes
that
all in
every
all
time.
the time. He goes
Every
in all
time.
the time. I will disagree with that. He goes in all the. He goes 2 all in. Like he needs to step back. Like, bro, take a step back. I mean, he looked ridiculous.
I'm looking at Game 6 right now. Game 6, NBA Finals, if necessary, Thursday, June 20th in Dallas, Texas. Hank, what do you think? That could be a closeout game.
Yeah. They're all show recording days. Like, that's where it's like, I don't want to,
You don't want to rob the
Ask for
people.
vacation,
I appreciate
but-
that.
No, I'm not talking about vacation. I didn't say anything about vacation.
Where's Game 7? When's Game 7?
I don't have that in front of me right now, but I do know that Game 6.
I think Game 7 is
Game
at
5 is Monday in
Sunday
Boston.
the 23rd.
Sunday the
Tickets are
23rd.
fucking insane.
Will be at the Beer Olympics. Hell yes, I'm so pumped.
You
That
could,
one-
You could go to Dallas and do the show.
That one you were going to go to Game 7?
Well, I mean, beer Olympic.
No, I'm talking about Game 6
Yeah. Okay. Down.
under certain circumstances.
There's a certain person that's not going to like hearing this.
What?
Well, I have a lot of confidence in your trivia team.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's
That would be so fucked.
You guys are about to go on a magical run.
The Celtics are.
Yeah. Game 7.
I mean, yeah, we're also not gonna.
So Vegas, you won't go to Vegas with us for Beer Olympics?
I'll come Monday.
You're backing out. It sounds like he's
we need
backing
you for
out.
the show.
You just said I could go to Dallas, but I can't go to Boston.
I think there's more content to be had in Dallas.
That's true.
Also, you could go. That would be hilarious if you won the NBA Finals while we were in Vegas, and you could just do like a one-man like party. Go to Hawkinson.
That would be sick.
TJ
They'd probably
Hawkinson.
fly out. That would actually.
Yeah. Ooh, they definitely would. They'd probably be there.
We're not getting ahead of ourselves. We're not. We're focused on Game 1. We're
shit.
focused on Game 1.
You think the Celtics
We're
they're going
focused
to
on
fly
Game 1.
directly to Vegas that night? They might.
Maybe they do like they usually go after the parade, so you have to stay in Vegas. You can stay in Vegas. Are we getting ahead of ourselves?
No, I don't think so. I think this is appropriate. It's cocky Hank.
I don't give a fuck. Yeah, if the
just
Celtics,
said
what you
Vegas
just said, no,
fans.
the happiness thing is true. If the Celtics lose this championship, like
It's gonna be
I will
embarrassing, yeah.
Just retire from the internet for the summer. Probably
no.
until the next basketball season.
Wait, so you'll just go silent when your team loses?
Oh, gotcha.
Well, they're talking about the podcast, Max, which is my job.
Not
Social
just
media is
silent,
not
Max.
my
He's also
job.
talking about he's going deaf too.
Yeah.
Got it.
He's not going to hear or say anything.
And blind. He can't type.
read it, yeah.
They're talking about actually speaking words. You're talking about social media, which is not part of my job.
Yes, it is.
Not my personal.
Yes, it is. 100% is.
Is it?
100%.
Memes is screaming back here. They track that. They
They
track
track that. When you ask us to, retweet the documentary,
I didn't ask that.
I'm
will if you dunk.
I'm just so excited.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
I'm excited to see Hank with so much on the line. That's going to be a real treat
It
for us.
really is because if the Celtics had been tested along the way in the Eastern Conference Finals, again, not their fault, and you get to the finals, like, oh man, they lost this. Everyone, there are so many people who are entrenched with like the Celtics are not good, and the Mavs are way better, and like so if that ends up being the case, you just have to just sit there and be like, oh, well, I'm embarrassed.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, you tell me. You guys are unbiased more than me, but it feels like the general public, it's like 80-20 Mavs or just not Celtics.
Yeah, because the Mavericks.
I don't know.
No one wants the Celtics to win except
What do you
for
think
people
the
from
first
Boston.
line? Whose line is it anyway? I think
Celtics minus 3.5 is my
I'd
guess.
be like 5. See, I think I think once we get to it, what is it?
6.
See,
Wow.
I think the Celtics, as weird as the Eastern Conference playoffs have looked because of all the injuries
Wow.
and all the teams going down, like
I
the
don't like
Celtics are still a fucking awesome team. This is a very even series.
Yeah,
That's why I have it Celtics in 7.
Minus
With the Mavericks,
225.
it's like Luka is so fucking good. You can't deny how good he is. He's just at the top of his game, at the top of the league, and he's also a dick. So a lot of people, they appreciate him for how good he is, but they're also like, I wish he didn't scream at everybody all the time.
Although it was awesome when he screamed at that fan tonight saying, "Yeah, who's crying now, motherfucker?"
Yeah,
Priceless.
it was great. It was great.
It was
But
great.
it's not like they're America's sweetheart.
No, but if you polled the general public, who do you think they would choose?
I don't know. I think it'd be pretty close.
Yeah, I don't think you're right on that.
Oh yeah, I
It's
mean,
like
like
Vegas.
I said,
like,
I'm biased.
I mean,
no, but I'm saying as a fan, like a rooting interest, like a fan, just a
Yeah, rooting interest.
lines
Oh,
aside.
yeah.
And I'm not talking about like who
Maybe
they think's gonna
rooting.
win, but like
Yeah.
who they want to win.
I think it's probably close.
you were 2.5 points off on that line.
Yeah, I have too much respect. I've been listening to fucking glazed donuts over here.
I've
for
been
a
glazing-
month straight.
Glazing Luka should be allowed.
No, I know, but the glazing has infiltrated, got in my hair, and like it's got in my ear, and it's made me think that the Mavs are better than they are.
You got Luka cum in your ear.
Yeah,
Get you a towel.
I also, it would be funny if the Celtics win this. We said this a couple maybe last week, but the Lakers would have lost to the maximum amount of teams.
Yeah.
which would be very funny because all Lakers fans were like, the Nuggets were the only team that could beat us. It was a bad matchup. Lost to the Nuggets. Nuggets lost to the Wolves. Wolves lost to the Mavs. The Mavs lose to the Celtics. It's just a domino. They had so many teams better than
I have a very serious question about this. If the Celtics win,
Yeah.
does
Hank Vegas for sure.
if the Celtics win, does Blake Griffin get a ring?
No.
I would say no.
You don't think so?
I have a very serious answer why.
Because everybody wanted him on the team this year.
Right.
And he-
I would love for him to get a ring, but I don't think Blake would take it.
I think they should give him one.
I don't think that would be a pity ring.
Yeah, they should give him one.
Was he in preseason camp?
No.
He should go to a game.
Yeah.
Ooh. You should get him to a game.
All I know
If you can get Blake to a game and he allows you to sit on his lap during the game, you can go. And all the games.
Okay.
Okay?
but you have to wear like a Blake Griffin jersey, and you have to sit like have a pacifier and have the announcers think that you're his son.
You have to be like Deuce Griffin. Is that Jason Tatum's son's name? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Deuce Griffin.
Deuce Griffin just walking around, just high-fiving players,
Be
maybe
fun.
get like headbands signed. Yeah.
Get on the court before the game and shoot around, running around.
You
just-
got to put sneakers on your knees and walk around on your knees the whole time.
and be like sprinting, but never dribbling the ball on the court.
Do it right
running
now. Let me
around.
see you. Take off your shoes and put your knees into your shoes. Do you have this angle?
I think you could pull it
This
off.
is the best NBA finals preview of all time. Just saying that right now. We're gonna have Russillo on next week. Yeah. Yeah.
There he is. There's Deuce Griffin.
Deuce Griffin.
He's
You
adorable.
get to go to every finals game, Deuce.
I just know that I like to ride with our guys on this show. Blake is rooting for the Celtics. He is a Celtic right now, in spirit. And we've got White, we've got Pritchard, and I like Joe Mazzulla a lot.
Joe Mazzulla. I'm basing this all off, although Jason Kidd has been on the show.
That's very true. Yeah.
Illegally.
I'm basing this just all off of there's no heart or like anything. It's just brain. I think the Celtics are the better team in a 7-game series. I just
Same.
do.
Same.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll find out. I'm going to crunch more data though. So that's that's my knee jerk. It could go Celtics in 6. I go Celtics in 5. I go Mavs in 7. I got to decide.
I'm
not betting.
excited. I'm excited. I'm not gonna say I'm nervous.
One strategy only betting strategy I think I have for this is I think I'm just going to bet whoever loses game 1 because I do think it's going to go 7.
Yeah.
So no matter who loses game 1, I'm just going to bet that they're going to trade games back and forth.
there are enough really good players on both sides
Right,
where it's like
exactly.
you can't count either team out. I'm just going on vibes right now. I'm going with my heart, not my head.
Yeah.
And also Joe Mazzulla said that the Celtics are weaponizing time. That's how they're spending this off week.
Football guy.
Weaponizing time.
That's
They're on some DARPA shit right now.
That is crazy.
Dragon Ball Z.
What is that? I was trying to think of what it meant to weapon. I think it just means like practicing.
Vrabel did it to Belichick.
Weapon. He did. Yeah. He stole time from him.
He stole time. This is what's that confusing movie that Christopher Nolan made?
Tenant.
Interstellar.
Tenet.
Interstellar. No,
It's
Tenet.
Tenet.
No. Was it no.
It's Tenet.
Before that.
Tenet.
Nope.
Tenet was the weird one.
There was another one.
Tenet.
Not Interstellar.
Memento,
Nope. That is also time.
Kind of. Well, the guy had.
Tenet, Interstellar, Inception.
Inception.
Oh, that's dreams.
He's weaponizing dreams.
But Memento as well.
Missoula definitely weaponizes dreams.
Tenet is weaponizing time.
I never saw it, so I can't speak to
Again, this is great NBA preview.
it. Which Christopher Nolan movie is most like the Boston Celtics? Okay, all right. We'll change sports. Before we do that, Coors Light, the beer of the summer. Shout out to the people who are ride or die fans despite multiple losses or bad draft picks. Choosing a chill mindset makes the day-to-day better. Life's too short to get worked up over small stuff. Choose chill and then reach for a Coors Light instead. When you embrace a chill mindset, it's a good time to choose chill and crack open a Coors Light. Coors Light is mountain cold refreshment, crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. Hank, do you have a Coors Light over there? Can you crack it? Can you crack it into the mic? Listen to this, folks. Oh, that ruled.
That was a good one.
That was
Just now.
incredible.
Hank, pass me one of those.
That was incredible. So, Coors Light's Mountain Cold Refreshment, crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. Wait. Oh, that
Quick
was
trigger.
awesome. When you chill out, life gets better. Choose chill and then reach for a Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/take. It is the beer of the summer. Send us your, it's Friday. You're listening to this, it's Friday. Send us your Blue Mountains on your cans and your bottles in your coolers.
Oh, yeah.
We love Coors Light. We'll retweet those because we love Coors Light so much. Have a Coors Light this weekend. We're also brought to you by our friends at the Farmer's Dog. The days are warmer, the walks are longer. And one easy way to help your dog shine this season is with fresh, healthy food from the Farmer's Dog. The Farmer's Dog makes real, fresh dog food and delivers it right to your door. Recipes are developed by vet nutritionists, made from real meat and veggies, and portioned just for your dog, making it easy to say goodbye to burnt brown balls and feed your dog real food with real benefits. It's smart, healthy pet food you can feel good about feeding your pup. It's the best option for dogs of all life stages because it's not kibble, it's not canned goo, it's real healthy food. The Farmer's Dog isn't just healthy, high-quality food. They also send the food pre-proportioned especially for your dog based on their unique needs. I've been using Farmer's Dog for a very long time with Stella. She loves it. Dogs at a healthy weight can live up to 2.5 years longer than overweight dogs. You want your dog to live forever? Well, Farmer's Dog can get you a little closer to that. So get 50% off your first box of fresh, healthy food at thefarmersdog.com/PMT. Plus, you get free shipping. Just go to thefarmersdog.com/PMT to get 50% off. That's thefarmersdog.com/PMT. thefarmersdog.com/PMT. Okay. Should we talk some other sports?
Let's talk football.
Yeah.
Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
Windy City.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Matt Dweeberflus.
Wait. Yes.
Lakeshore Drive. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, the Lakeshore Drive in the opening montage is going to be great. The
Yep.
the shot of Lake Michigan.
Yep.
Sears Tower panouts.
First time it's ever had it in the Bears franchise. We all kind of assume this was going to be the case because Hard Knocks has these rules where if you are a playoff team, you can't do it. Which is like all the interesting teams.
I think it was originally if you're a playoff team, you can choose to not do it.
Right.
If they ask you,
They all
but
say
then
no.
team wants to do it.
If you have a new head coach, you can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that the decision was basically like the Giants, the Saints, and the Bears.
I have a theory. Do you think that the Bears didn't fire Matt Eberflus because they wanted Hard Knocks?
No,
You don't think so?
no, I do not. I don't think any team wants Hard Knocks. I mean,
Maybe the Bears.
Listen.
Number one picks.
I'm
Yeah.
excited to watch Hard Knocks Bears.
Trying to get that new stadium,
Yep.
need some buzz. Yeah.
Which, by the way, I think the lawmakers in Illinois have gone on vacation for the rest of the summer. Shout out Hank. So the stadium's like, they're like, oh, we'll figure it out later. The stadium's never getting built. I'm very excited for Hard Knocks for the Bears. I think it's going to be awesome. There's a small part of me that's worried that Hard Knocks might taint all the success the Bears have had these last few years.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this could go south.
Yeah. People are going to get pumped for these Bears, though.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
Well, I mean, I'm already there's nothing Hard Knocks can do that I won't already be thinking in my head.
I can't wait for the fashion episode with Caleb Williams. They're definitely going to go out to like some designer stores, follow him around for a day,
Him and Roma Dunze being best friends already.
have him try some stuff on for the cameras. Yeah, do a
Yep.
little catwalk.
Yep.
That's going to be good.
Ryan Poles getting to work at like 4 a.m, which I respect. Hardworking guy, genius. Yeah, I'm excited.
You should be.
I'm very
You
excited.
should be, but you should also be very wary of the fact that Hard Knocks makes us amped up for any team.
Oh no, PFD. I'm so scared that I might be like way overhyped.
No.
Bears going into September and then they don't do well. When has that ever happened?
Not you. Everybody else having the expectation. Like
They already are. They're already like over 8.5 win total.
in
Like,
seasons past,
damn.
with the
think so.
Bears, you've been pumped up for the Bears, but everybody else has been like, maybe we'll pump the brakes a little bit. This time, everyone's going to be like, Bears.
You do realize there's literally nothing that can happen in this course of Hard Knocks and then the season that hasn't already happened to me. Like, what's the worst thing that could happen? I become a laughingstock of the internet? Oh, welcome to every football season.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Hard Knocks.
Yeah, that's why.
I've
That's
thought
why
about-
it's like I'm at the point where it's like I have nothing to lose. The only thing I could lose is just going back to where I've been.
it does give your enemies more ammunition in terms of memes,
They have all of
in
it.
terms of things to bring up.
They have
when
all
things
the
don't
stats.
go wrong.
PFT, they have the stats.
I know.
The 3,000-yard or passer.
Listen,
They have
I'm,
the
I'm with you.
30
I think
30
the Bears
touchdowns.
are going to be good. I'm excited for Hard Knocks. They're a fun team. Their offense seems like they're incredible. Their defense seems like they're on definitely the right track, on their way to being an elite defense. So I'm high on the Bears, but I also don't want to see you get crushed.
That's a lie.
I
One.
don't, no.
That's a fucking lie. One.
don't.
Everyone in this room wants to see me get crushed. Everyone who's watching this wants to see me get crushed. That's a lie.
I root hard.
Two.
I root way harder against
Two.
everybody else's teams. You're the team that I root the most for out of all the teams that I want to see lose.
I think that's I reciprocate that. The two. There's nothing. I mean, it's what's gonna happen. People like, oh, I'm gonna get crushed. I've been flattened so many times. I'm in those compressor videos.
Yeah,
Which rock, by the way.
they are very
Where
satisfying.
they like squash a candle.
Yeah, we got to get on some oddly
CDs.
satisfying stuff on this show,
Yeah.
on the socials.
Yeah, I watched one where
It's in my algorithm. I'll start sending over.
my algorithm's just tits and just tits. I was thinking what else it is, but it's not even
Food.
No, it's not even food.
Any dogs?
I think I've just basically curated just tits. They shave soap bars. You ever watch that
Yeah,
one?
yep.
That one rocks.
About cleaning rugs.
Yeah, I like
cleaning
that.
rugs.
Biggest waste of water I've ever seen.
Have you watched
But I watch them all.
Have you watched the lawnmower guy who just
Yeah.
shows
Oh,
up
yeah.
to random people's houses?
Yep.
He is the best.
The guy unclogging drains.
Oh, the drains, dude. I have 2 drains in my back patio, and I won't clean up the back patio just because every time it rains, it gets clogged, and I can just scoop it, and I'll put it like right next to the drain just so I can watch it.
Yeah, the leaves.
Yeah.
The leaves and all the gunk in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lawn mowing videos are very satisfying. Are you talking about the dude that just shows up to people's houses that don't have lawnmowers and does it for them?
It's like
That guy rocks.
or it's like a person has passed away and
Yeah.
and so they'll go to the neighbor and be like, "Hey, can I clean this up?"
Yeah.
This is our Hard Knocks preview.
Well, there will
We're on
be,
some good tangents right
there-
now. We're having a great show.
there's definitely going to be a grass cutting scene
Yo, yeah.
at the beginning of Hard Knocks. The smell, the sprinkler.
So many drone shots of the lake and the river.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to be excited to watch it. And again,
Team's gonna go with the Sears Tower, 360
Oh,
Tower,
yeah, what's the bonding?
or whatever the
activities?
fuck.
It's the Willis,
the
but
Hancock, the Hancock.
It's the Willis, but it's always the Sears Tower to me. They're going to go on that
They might
that
not,
balcony
because-
overwards.
the Bears, although I think they've been back at Bourbonnais. They don't do it at Hallis anymore because of COVID. They were doing it, like everyone was doing it at their facilities.
Oh, slow-mo hot dog shots.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited. There's really nothing that could hurt me more than I've already been hurt. And I say that, and obviously I'm gonna get like way more hurt, but come on. Like, save this. You guys know. You guys know how this works.
It is porn.
They're gonna be awesome.
I would like to experience at some point, like being a Commanders fan, getting to watch the full documentary
Right.
behind my own team.
Right. Maybe you'll get the in season.
I might get the in season, yeah,
Yeah.
but nobody watches the in season.
And they did the off season with the
The
Giants.
Giants, yeah. So we're going
Fuck
to see
is
like
that?
free agency and draft.
Why doesn't every team just do this now?
I think
Also,
a lot of them do.
we're gonna get episode 3 where we stop watching. I'll keep watching, but America will stop watching because
Yeah.
that's just what happens now with Hard Knocks.
Yeah, after the preseason starts.
Yeah. Okay. I have. Oh, we should talk some hockey. Oh, actually, wait. One more football topic. Memes.
He doesn't look old.
What are you talking about?
I know what you're gonna say.
What? No. I was not going to say that.
Then
Who
what-
are you talking about?
You know who I'm talking about?
Who are you talking about?
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, is there a video out?
There's a video. It was blister maintenance prevention.
What?
That's what Pat McAfee said.
Okay. And how did he look running around?
He looked fine.
Oh, I thought he kind of was hobbling a little.
Yeah, he just got taped up.
So you're not worried?
Not worried.
Okay, great.
I mean, he looked really good last offseason. We saw what that got him.
Yeah, that's true. And he's young.
Maybe the secret is to just not be able to run away from defensive linemen. Mm-hmm. Just get hit.
This is mean. This is mean.
Memes, this video, you watch it and you got bothered.
I got a little bothered because people just kept tagging me.
Yeah.
But
Well-
it was the non-Achilles foot. So
I don't think the blister maintenance means nothing to me. It's him running around looking like he's 50 years old. Like he looks that little hobble. Is that a blister? All right, it's a blister. It's just a blister, guys.
Might be COVID toe.
Might be COVID toe.
I don't know what that is, but
Yeah.
He was examining his feet a little bit.
We're talking about Aaron Rodgers. If anyone hasn't picked up, but yeah. He looked hobbled.
Oh, is that who that is?
Yeah, that
I
is.
guess that is
who
Aaron
he
Rodgers.
is.
I didn't know.
He's looking at his blister maintenance. Okay,
No,
that's
that's a
some
horoscope
good
chart.
maintenance. He's going to drop back,
he's fine.
pitch it, and then
He's got a blister.
okay. Oh,
A little ginger.
little ginger. Okay,
Little Andy Dalton.
yeah, little ginger. We should talk hockey though.
Let's talk hockey.
Memes, this is the nice part of the show for you. The Panthers take a 3-2 lead, win at the Mecca. You have to feel like it's over.
Don't feel like it's over yet.
Oh.
I feel like it's going 7. But what were you gonna say?
Well, you literally just asked me before the show. It's got to be over.
It's
right?
got to be. Yeah, Memes is in incredible
Did you not
crisis
say
mode
that?
with the Rangers being this close to a Stanley Cup final. I walked in like maybe at like 7:45, and the big TV was hockey, and there was no basketball. And I was like, "Hey, can we put the basketball game on?" He goes, "Oh, I totally forgot that there's a basketball game tonight."
He's so invested. I think he roots harder for the Rangers to lose than he does for the Islanders to win,
correct.
which I respect. That's a pure hater move.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Memes, it's over.
I don't think it's over.
So what is your analysis for the Rangers' ability to come back here?
I would like the Rangers to win Game 6
What?
and then lose in historic fashion.
This
at
is
Game
bad,
7.
man.
Oh, that's a really
You got to make this a
stupid
must.
strategy.
You got to make this a must lose.
Playing with fire.
It's a must lose. You and Max are just two sides of the same coin. You don't understand must wins, must loses.
Panthers must win Game 6.
There you
Yeah,
go, Jake.
have
Jake
to.
gets it.
Yep.
And then the Oilers, that was an incredible comeback. I know it was only 2-goal lead, but it was more how fast they went from down 2-0 to 2-2, and then how fast they went 2-2 to 4-2. And it was a gut check moment for the Oilers because they lost Game 3 at home. Crowds amped up, so loud. Game 4, they come out flat. It's like, this series is over. And Connor McDavid, turns out he's really goddamn good, even if he's not scoring goals.
Yeah, he
Might
is.
be injured.
He's a good facilitator. You think he's got lower body?
No, people are saying I was reading some of my own Twitter replies saying that Connor McDavid might have something going on with his wrist, and that's why he's not shooting as much. And a little Adam Banks situation. Hold this stick and rotate.
Upper body.
And he got screwed with that shot that should have gone in. The goalie stick was just sitting there.
Yeah, he did. He did. I'm rooting for Edmonton to get to the finals.
I am too.
I would like to see Edmonton and Florida.
Yeah, people will say we're anti-Dallas. I've been Hank. Am I anti-Dallas?
God, no.
Yeah, glazing. I've been glazing Luca.
Yeah, I want
glazed donut.
I want every Dallas team to win except the Cowboys.
Okay. We're gonna have Whitney on, by the way, next week, and possibly Yans. Neither of them know it, so if they hear this, just hit me up. Do you want to do my baseball topics?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, I got 4 baseball topics.
I've got one too. It's probably one of the same ones you're going.
Okay, well, you want to pick 1 through 4?
3.
3.
Jinx.
Oh, okay, 3's good. Ben Verlander's the weirdest tweeter of all time. What was that?
He jinxed me.
Oh.
I can't talk.
You're good.
Okay, thank you. I agree. I concur.
Yeah, so he tweeted yesterday, "It's so wild to me that when a pitcher throws up near Jose Altuve's head, fans loudly cheer. I honestly think if he got hit in the head and died on the field, people would cheer."
So here's the
Are
thing.
Yankees fans?
Short king to short king talking here. It's hard not to throw near Altuve's head.
Yeah, they're all up and in.
Anything above the belt on a normal human is towards his head.
They would, hold on. I honestly think if he got hit in the head and died on the field, people would cheer. I don't think that.
I don't think so. I think it'd probably be pretty quiet.
Probably be
somber.
like, ooh.
Probably cancel baseball for a couple weeks, maybe a week,
Yeah,
at least a day.
yeah.
No, Ben's way off on this one.
Yeah,
You know what?
We might have to have him on.
You know
just
what?
Like, dude, he seems like a really nice guy, but remember he said that he was literally
He threw up.
throwing up from Shohei Ohtani getting hurt.
Yeah, I admire his passion.
I do too. He's very passionate. I like that, but I just more want to be like, it's kind of like when we had John Rothstein on. Like, hey, explain some tweets.
Mhm.
It's not a mean thing.
There's gonna be a lot of them.
Yeah, it's like I'm not like coming at you. I would like to know what's going on through your head when you're like, if Jose Altuve died, people would cheer.
I would not.
No.
I would bang on a trash can.
Yeah. At his funeral.
Yeah.
Like bagpipes.
Ben probably thinks that people would show up at his funeral like the Westboro Baptist Church with a bunch of trash cans.
It's also not hard to understand. We were robbed of making fun of the Astros because of the COVID year. So people feel like we'll never get our full justice.
Yeah.
All right. That was topic 1. Or that was topic 3. Hank?
2.
2. The Mets, Jorge Lopez. Did you guys see this?
I did not see this one.
He came off the field, had a terrible relief outing, and threw his glove into the crowd in disgust. And then afterwards, he was asked by reporters what's going on, and he said he's on the worst team in probably the whole fucking MLB.
Ooh.
Did you see his statement, though?
What?
He said because his efforts to address the media in English, he felt it made him the worst teammate in the entire league.
Oh, that's a good spin zone.
Well, what about was there a translation issue when he threw his glove into the crowd?
No.
Oh, okay. And then he got cut.
Yeah, they DFA'd him.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he's saying he was the worst teammate, not the worst team.
Got
Big
it.
difference.
Got it.
But
Yeah.
I can buy that. That's the Shohei.
So did he get DFA'd because of the quote or because of his play?
I think it was the throw. I
The
think it was
glove
both.
is-
Yeah. He threw his glove. And a Yankees fan caught it, which is so perfect for the Mets.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's really tough. So he threw his glove. They DFA'd him for throwing a glove? You can lose your job for that?
He threw it in anger at the crowd.
I'm assuming he's also bad.
Yeah, that too. And the Mets are bad. Like, he's not totally wrong. I mean, there's a couple teams worse. But they're pretty bad.
White Sox, right?
White Sox, yeah.
Rockies are pretty bad. Marlins are pretty bad.
Yeah.
Athletics, sneaky, not that bad.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're hovering around.
We're right
money.
below 500.
Yeah.
Right below 500.
Okay, that was topic number 2, Hank.
1.
Okay, good, because 4 I didn't want to do till the end. Did you guys see we have a knuckleballer again?
Yeah.
David Fletcher.
Oh.
He was the Angels he was the Angels infielder. He's now on the Braves AAA, and he's basically become a knuckleballer. And it's a very cool story because we've been saying for a long time
We need one.
Also, cool part about David Fletcher, he's under investigation by the MLB for the Shohei Ohtani gambling issue.
Yeah, that is very cool. The fact that he's a knuckleballer is awesome, too. We do need a knuckleballer in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
It's so fun to watch, if for nothing else than just to give everybody that's like 30 or above just the chance to think to themselves, like, if I really put my mind to it, I could become a knuckleballer.
Yeah.
I, too, could be a Major League Baseball pitcher.
And that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
And he's also under investigation. He was dubbed Shohei Ohtani's best friend, was gambling with the same bookie. Also, another teammate of his was gambling on games of his, allegedly, with that bookie. A little messy, but the knuckleball's cool.
Yeah, the knuckleball is really cool. I'm willing to overlook all that stuff.
Yeah.
Just like Shohei, I'm willing to overlook it because Shohei's so much fun to watch.
Right.
If it's a knuckleball pitcher, absolutely.
Yeah.
Bring him in.
Yeah. And then I had my last one was the Negro League's records. Was that yours or no?
Yeah, that was mine.
Okay. I have so it's cool because guys that were kept out of the sport by the MLB are being acknowledged. Is it crazy to say though? Part of me feels weird. There were a lot of people online like, this is bullshit. We like our records. I don't give a fuck about that. The weird part to me is MLB segregated the black players, told them they cannot play in the MLB.
Yes.
Made them create their own leagues because like you cannot play, we're keeping you out. And now 80 years later, they're basically inheriting their statistics and putting them on the MLB website and almost erasing it like the Negro Leagues being like, oh yeah, it's all part of MLB.
Well, yeah, they're
That feels weird to me.
they're trying to make people forget the fact that it was the MLB that kept black players out of professional baseball and made them start their own league for a long time. And by inheriting those stats and bringing those in, they're kind of saying these belong to us now.
Right.
And that's not at all what happened. Like what happened, if you were to ask players who played at the time, you probably could. I don't know what they'd say. I don't want to speak for them. But thinking if I put myself in their shoes, I'd be like, fuck you. You wouldn't let me play baseball. And now you're trying to act like that era never happened. It is very cool that people are going to get to see the records and the individual stats are going to come more to light on a much bigger scale, which is good. That's the good part of it. The bad part is MLB is essentially doing this to try to make themselves into a good guy based on the fact that they were a very bad guy back in the day. Our friend Ryan Spader had a good, I don't know if it was a thread or if it was just one tweet, but he kind of laid out the case for it because MLB will start to now say like, these are MLB stats.
Right.
They're probably going to start to say NL/AL record instead of MLB record.
Right.
For certain stats that were surpassed by players that played in the Negro Leagues that came over.
Yeah. So, all right. So we had the same thought because it's one of those stories you're like, all right, well, it's good that the Negro Leagues are getting the acclaim right now. And I know that getting some of these guys in the Hall of Fame was very important. But the MLB feels like they're just kind of patting the Negro Leagues on the head, being like, these are ours now. And in 50 years from now, when you look up who was the leader and you see Josh Gibson, you don't get the full story that MLB kept Josh Gibson out of Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
And then also ended the Negro Leagues by not, like, a lot of times when there's the ABA, NBA, they inherit some of the teams. Mm-hmm. Some of the teams become part, they bring them in as expansion. When the Negro Leagues, when they started integration, they brought in a couple players, but they didn't bring any of the teams in, and basically that decimated the Negro Leagues.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like MLB, you kept them out, then you ruined the Negro Leagues. Now you want the records? I don't know. And I could be way off. People could be like, this is the wrong take. That's fine. That was my initial, this seems weird.
I think it would be better to be solved like the way basketball does it, Professional Baseball Hall of Fame, or just Baseball Hall of Fame, and have it not be, well, it might be, is that what it is in Cooperstown, or is it MLB? I think it might be Baseball Hall of Fame.
National Baseball Hall
Yeah, it's
of
the
Fame.
Baseball
I just
Hall
know
of
I
Fame.
went to MLB.com today and I looked up stats like career leaders, and Josh Gibson is leading in I think it was batting average, and you'd have to click on his name to see that he didn't play in the MLB again because the MLB kept him out.
So it is the National Baseball Hall of Fame. So that's good. So that it tells the full story there. But for Major League Baseball to say these are our records when no, in fact, you kept them out of Major League Baseball, it's a little dicey.
And it's going to get, as years go by, it will get confusing, that the story will get confusing to future generations, and it won't get fully told that they kept all these incredible players, which the Negro Leagues, like, by all accounts, and you like, we've heard the stories also when guys went from Negro Leagues to Major League Baseball, they flourished. So the Negro Leagues was playing at a very high level. So the argument that, oh, they didn't play enough games, or, oh, that wasn't as good. No, it's probably better than a lot of baseball players in MLB. That argument doesn't hold any water.
I think the Stars would have been the Stars no matter what league they were playing in.
Some of these guys played in the Negro Leagues, then after their prime went to MLB and still dominated.
Yeah, they were also forced to do some barnstorming, so they had to play. There were some games that were against inferior opponents at the time, but you don't hold that against those players because they were forced to do that because MLB would not let them play professional baseball.
So I don't know. That was just, it felt, and again, I could be way off, but it just feels like in 50 years, 100 years, the story will be so, like, confusing that it won't be fully told that Major League Baseball did not let black people play in Major League Baseball for a large part of their history, which is very bad.
Yes.
Also, I learned Ty Cobb was actually not, like, a big racist.
So there's, like, one author that fucking hated Ty Cobb.
Yeah.
That just completely sullied his name. And I don't know if Ty Cobb had, like, some bad streaks in him. Probably not an angel. But I don't think he was the bad guy that he's sometimes made out to be.
I read a long story about it last night. He was a surly guy. He was, quick-tempered, thin-skinned, but by all accounts was not the racist that everyone was taught he was when we were taught about Ty Cobb. Whereas, he's the most racist guy in the world.
Put the statue back up.
It really did look like it was one author basically wrote a book, and that was just his story.
There was one author that really, really did not like Ty Cobb.
Yeah.
And, so be nice to authors who might be writing your biography one day.
Yeah. Josh Gibson's arms were fucking massive. See pictures of those?
Yeah. Satchel
He's a
Paige
beast,
was a monster.
Yeah, Satchel Paige is a perfect example. I think Satchel Paige, pitched in MLB at the end of his career when he was well past his prime and was good. Correct me on that, Jake, if you can. No, I'm pretty sure he did. I'm pretty sure in in the early 50s, he pitched in Major League Baseball. But yeah, that was. It's kind of a people were getting angry at each other online.
48 to 53
on the internet?
And then he came
Yeah,
back
on the
to
internet.
65 for 1 year.
Yeah, look at him. He's 41 years old, and he went to Major League Baseball. You're not telling me Satchel Paige, if he was allowed to play in Major League Baseball his entire career, wouldn't have been one of the best pitchers of all time?
And didn't he pitch 9 innings every single game?
Yeah. So people were upset about their old stats. Who the fuck cares? I actually think you should just get rid of all old stats pre-integration, because the Major League stats are also tainted.
You kept out.
Because you kept out some
Yeah.
of the best players. You deliberately kept them out. You shouldn't be able to count those as the number one stats.
I think that people in general should just not fall in love with numbers.
Yeah.
Numbers aren't everything. Oh, my stats. Oh, the stats are different now. Oh, no, when I look at these numbers, there's a different name next to some of the numbers.
It's a very Major League Baseball story, because Major League Baseball is the number one. We got to protect the stats.
Yeah, they are. It's weird.
Yeah. Imagine if the NFL acted that way. All the passing stats are going to be broken 100 times over in the next 20 years.
There's 20 games now. 20 games in a season.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They're all going to be shattered.
I mean, the only thing that really, whenever they change the amount of games in a year, it does make you go back and be like, OJ was built different.
It was built different.
Every time they had another game.
2,000 yards.
Every
yeah.
time there's another game, OJ Simpson becomes 0.0001% more likable.
Well, he's very likable dead.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay, anything else before we do our great Mike Breen interview?
We had the spelling bee
Oh, yeah.
When did that happen?
today. The finals were tonight.
Hank,
Who won?
A guy named Bruhat Soma. He spelled 29 words in a spell off in 90 seconds.
there's a spell off.
There was a spell
There's
off?
a spell off. Hank, I got a question for you. His winning word was abseil, meaning a descent in mountaineering by means of a rope looped over a projection above.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The mountaineer had a real great abseil. It fucking rocked.
To the language of origin.
English. It's an English word.
Is that really good?
Yes, Jake.
Yeah.
It's an English word.
Abseil.
Yeah. Yes.
Abseil.
Yes. I'll use it in a sentence for you. No, actually, I won't.
No, you should do it. You
No.
should use it in a sentence.
No.
Hank, do you agree that Big Cat should use it in a sentence?
Yes.
I don't really have a sentence for it. I was trying to figure out a way to do it. Hank promises that he will have a 6-pack, but I'm abseiling on that one. That
Abseil.
didn't work. See,
if-
it didn't work.
If Hank is not able to dunk, he will abseil himself from the rim of the basketball court in Barstool headquarters.
Yeah. Hank can suck a mean abseil.
Yeah,
Abseil.
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 A descent in mountaineering.
I'll give it a try after.
A
Yeah.
B
Mm-hmm.
You're just saying the alphabet?
S
Okay.
A I L.
Ding. No, they do the ding when it's wrong.
Okay.
Oh, well, that was so
Yeah, that was
confusing, Jake.
anticlimactic.
That's what they do.
Yeah, well, we
Yeah, I
don't.
know.
We don't know that.
You know the bell.
I don't. I have not watched the spelling bee in a very long
I
time.
do know the bell, but in the moment when you ding, I think correct.
Yeah, ding is correct.
No, the guy
be
goes, that is
unbelievable.
correct.
Hank's
Yeah.
got dozen brain though.
Yeah.
He's so committed
Yeah.
to
All right,
trivia.
abseil.
Oh.
I'm gonna give it a shot. Abseil. What did you say? ABS.
He said
AIL.
ABSAIL.
I'm a phonetics guy.
Abseil.
If there was a phonetic spelling bee, I would dominate.
Abseil.
Is that just spelling words wrong?
Spelling them phonetically.
Abseil? What was the language of origin?
English. It's an English word.
Abseil. ABDSALE.
No.
Abdsale.
Ding.
Ah, shit.
There's gotta be like a U in there. somewhere.
I somehow got a D
Hank
in
was
there.
very close.
Hank was really close.
Oh, was it SALE?
No.
Oh.
ABSEIL. He said AIL.
Very close, Hank.
SEIL.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he said
Oh.
SAIL.
Barely.
That
lost
doesn't
his
sound
spell
like an
off.
English word. I'm just gonna say it.
Abdsale.
I think PFT banged me.
I have no idea what fucking country.
Well,
it
that's
is.
a huge part of the spelling.
It's an
bee,
English
dude.
word. I don't know where it came from. I don't know the word's parents.
You can tell by the letters it's not England.
Hank, spell the word I cup.
Ooh.
I K.
No,
Hank.
you know it. He knows it. All right, that was spelling. Okay, let's get to our Mike Breen interview. PFT, you have a quick ad before we get to Mike Breen.
Before we get to Mike Breen, he's being brought to you by our great friends at Morgan & Morgan. We all know that Morgan & Morgan is the official injury law firm of Pardon My Take. Did you know that they're also the official injury law firm of the UFC? We're pumped to announce Morgan & Morgan is giving you the best chance to score tickets to UFC 303. As America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan knows a thing or two about fighting for the people. Over $20 billion recovered for over 500,000 clients, Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record of fighting to get you full and fair compensation. They're giving away to one lucky winner. They're giving 2 tickets to UFC 303 to see the highly anticipated McGregor versus Chandler fight in Las Vegas. That's right. They're giving 2 tickets to UFC 303 McGregor Chandler in Vegas. Entering to win is easy. Just text PMT to For the People. That's 484-373-6742. 484-373-6742. Text PMT to that number for your chance to win 2 tickets to UFC 303. See McGregor vs. Chandler. Text PMT to For the People. Or click the link that we're going to put up on socials. We're going to put them on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, click that link and you can enter to get tickets to go see UFC 303 in sunny, beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. And now, here's Mike Breen.
Okay, we now welcome on a very, very special guest. It is the voice of the NBA, Mike Breen. You're going to hear him for the NBA Finals, which is starting shortly, but not shortly enough. Mike, thank you so much for joining us. This is a very dumb question to start. We always like to do our dumb questions right off the jump, but we talk about rest versus rust with the NBA Finals and the Celtics having all this time off. Is there rest versus rust for announcers? Is there a certain point where you're like, I'm kind of losing it, I need to get back in the booth?
Well, am I allowed to give a dumb answer to the dumb question?
Of
Yes.
course.
No, it's actually a good question. You know what? There's been a bug floating around the crew, so I've been battling a chest cold last couple of days. So rest is ideal right now. Although we still prefer. I mean, I want every series to go 7 games, but since this was a sweep, I'll take advantage of the rest.
Yeah.
Classic Tibbs announcer getting drained by the end of the year, right?
Yeah.
Ran you too hard.
Yeah.
No, we love you. You're obviously like something that I think American sports fans can all point at and say we like Mike Breen, which is rare because you have to find something to hate about everybody. Do you have any haters?
Oh, of course. I'm sure there must be many of them out there. I mean, it's impossible, and this happens every playoffs, guys. Where say I'm doing a Lakers Celtics finals. You go into Boston, and the Celtic fans are yelling at you, man. It's clear you want the Lakers to win. So you do the couple of games there, then you go to LA. And it's just the opposite. The Laker fans are saying, oh, man, can you try and hide how badly you want the Celtics to win? It happens every year. It happens in every sport. You can ask anybody who does the other. Ask Joe Buck. He dealt with that in the world. The guys who do the Super Bowls, it's the same thing every year.
Yeah, we've actually talked to Joe Buck about that. And we said, I think every team has a part of their fan base that just hates you and thinks that you're biased against their team. And he told us which team he really hated and had a bias against. So which team do you really hate?
I really don't. I'll tell you what, what's an interesting thing that I wish fans would understand sometimes. Most of them do. But when you're doing an NBA game, and one of the complaints the fans will say, well, you're getting so much more excited for them than you are for our team. but often it has to do with where you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, last night at Indiana, the Pacers hit a shot. The place is going crazy. You've got to raise your intensity to overcome the crowd. You don't have to do it as much when it's the road team, because obviously the crowd isn't going as crazy. So that does come into play sometimes, because there's been some games where, all right, say I'm doing Warriors Cavs, and the Warriors are getting beaten. The Cavs hit a big shot, and it's in San Francisco, and you're yelling the top of your lungs what you should do on a big play in a big playoff game. But the people who are sitting around you are so quiet because the opponent just scored, and they're looking at you like, "Can you please shut up? Can you yell like that?" So that does come into play in terms of sometimes you have to go a little higher on the home team.
Yeah. I just want to give ourselves some credit. This is a big J journalist move by us. I know that you went to Fordham and you've been in the industry for a very long time. Credit to us for lasting all of 3 questions before we started talking about the bang. Had to. I've been like holding it back. I'm the meme.
Holding in your bang?
Yeah, I've been holding in my bang. When did the bangs begin? I have many questions. Let's start there. The bang, the origin of the bang, and when did you know, like, hey, this is my thing? Like, I'm Marv Albert. Yes, like this is going to be my thing.
You know what? I started it when I was a student at Fordham, but I didn't do it on the air. When I was sitting in the stands, I went to every Fordham basketball game, drove everywhere to root for my college team, and there was about 10 or 11 of us. Including Michael Kay, who of course is the Yankee voice for so many years. And when we weren't broadcasting the game on the student radio station, we'd sit in the stands and we'd cheer like crazy. And when a Fordham player hit a big shot, I would yell it as a fan. And I tried it on the air as a student broadcaster, but I didn't think it worked, so I kind of shelved it. But then I started doing it again when one of my first jobs, I was doing this high school game of the week package. And we'd do these Friday night high school games in packed gyms. I mean, packed. There were small ones, but so loud. And it was hard to overcome the crowd. So I was searching for a concise call for a big moment, and a 1-syllable word seemed to work. So I started using it there, and I kind of like the way it worked. I've always tried to be less is more as a broadcaster. So that's when it started on the air.
Okay, so that's a great story that it was as natural could be, that you were doing it while sitting in the stands. What then the double bang? Do you know when a double bang is coming? You've done 8 total. I'm sure someone's told you this, but do you what's the benchmark that has to clear for a double bang? Because when it happens now, it's actually like a seismic event online. Like Mike Breen just did a double bang.
Well, I'm concerned that you know how many there are.
Yeah, well, we're big fans.
They're tracked.
Yeah, and when we get a double bang, it's a big moment.
A great double bang this playoffs.
Yeah,
fantastic double bang.
Yeah,
it's completely spontaneous. I'm 63 now, and I love basketball as much as I did when I was 6 and first started playing. So when I watch something and somebody does something spectacular, and especially if it's a surprise, especially if it's in a huge situation, I just kind of lose it. And I've never planned it. It just comes out. The excitement's so good. Like, for example, the Dante DiVincenzo hit one earlier in the playoffs for the Knicks, and the way that game had turned on a dime, it just came out. And I'd like to think that I maintain my fan love of the game and get excited when something unexpected like that happens.
Yeah.
Do you ever think to yourself, I'm about to say bang so MFing loud?
I've seen the meme. No, fortunately I've been able to avoid using that word on the air.
You should do a bet where if you lose, you actually have to get that literally tattooed on your forehead, so you become the meme in real human form.
That would work well at my age. It'd make me
Yeah.
No, we appreciate like the enthusiasm. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, can you recall your double bangs in history? Do you have them like off the top of your head?
Well, Steph Curry was the first one.
Yep.
Sure.
Also, when you do, so Steph Curry's the first one. You double bang. Do you go back to the booth afterwards, or the truck, and everyone's like, Mike, what the hell was that?
I said it twice.
Like you've never double banged.
No, the first one even shocked me. whole thing was it was the build up to that shot. The whole game, the whole season, that was a build up. Let's see, there was Julius Randle had one last year in a game on the MSG network for when they beat Miami down in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Gordon had one. It was a huge game between Houston and Golden State, or maybe Houston and Lakers. I don't even remember now. And then there were two this playoff. DiVincenzo and who's this? I've already forgotten who the other one was.
I can't remember who the other one was either. I'm trying to think.
DiVincenzo, that was a big one because it was New York. You were there. It was an awesome comeback.
It might have been Jaylen Brown in the corner. Was that a double bang?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
This is disturbing that I can't remember the one that happened last week.
So the double bangs are great.
It
really does feel, and it captures the moment because I like the fact that there's only been 8 of them makes it extra special, where it's like it's only coming out for a really unbelievable moment.
Well, I think if somebody told me that there were people that are upset that they didn't feel that Jaylen Brown deserved a double bang. So now they're rating the quality of the double bangs. I thought it did. I mean, he basically saved a playoff game and an important playoff game because it was the first of the series.
Yeah.
But again, it just comes out.
Yeah,
they're saying that because the other double bang happened so recently. So it's like, oh, is he just becoming a double bang guy? Have you thought about ever doing a triple bang?
You wouldn't do a triple bang, would you?
I don't know. I don't think you got the chops for a triple bang.
That'd be crazy, Mike.
No, I don't think so. I've tried. You know, the other thing too is people think I say it all the time. I would say more than 50% of the games I never even use one. I've tried because I think if you do it too much, it wears out its welcome. So I've tried to be selective, not just a double bang, but even just a regular bang for an important one in the game. There's been some games where it seems like, there's going to have this phenomenal ending. Somebody's going to hit a 3 at the buzzer. And that's when sometimes I'll say to myself, let's save it for maybe the big play at the end. And the big play never happens. The guy gets fouled and the winning points are from the free throw line.
Yeah.
So I don't normally go bang on a free throw made, but sometimes even games that I don't even do any of them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What about if you go that stretch where like there's, blowouts or whatever and that you haven't used a bang in a while, do you ever get nervous? Like, do I remember how to bang?
No. Although, talking about the free throw, my kids show me a lot of the stuff on social media, and somebody actually made a video of me the ultimate screaming bang on just basic free throws made in the first quarter.
I love it.
It's awesome. Yeah.
I love it. It's great. It's iconic. It is, like I said, Marv Albert, yes, like when the bang happens, like that's Mike Breen. It's a big moment. It just works so perfectly for basketball.
Well, obviously Marv was the biggest influence for me. And people, at least for me, this is what Marv had different levels of yes. There'd be a first quarter guy make a nice move, hit a shot, yes. And then in the second quarter, there might be like a big 15-0 run. A guy hit a 3-pointer at the end of 15-0 run, but yes, a little more. And then, of course, he had the great ones at the end, a game-winning call or a momentum-changing call. And that was the beauty of Marv, is like you could tell by the tone of the yes whether it was, all right, that's a pretty big shot, or that was the shot of the game.
Yeah. I have one more bang-related question, then we can get back into the real interview. Do you have a favorite bang? What's your favorite bang you've ever done?
The Curry double bang is very special because of that year, the way it happened, and the Ray Allen one, because the Ray Allen bang was that shot decided who was going to win a title. He doesn't hit that, and the Spurs win the title. But because he hits that, they win the game. They win Game 7. So that one was pretty big. There was one with Derrick Rose that I've always loved. I was a big fan, still am, of Derrick Rose. Just not only a wonderful player, but a terrific guy. And he hit one in Chicago against LeBron James and the Cavs to win a game at the buzzer, a playoff game.
I was there.
And
yeah.
pretty exciting.
Yeah.
If you this might be another dumb question, but if you go back and you listen to those calls, we love those calls. Like, I get excited just thinking about that Ray Allen shot and your voice providing the soundtrack to what I remember as like a pivotal moment in NBA basketball. When you go back and you watch those clips and you hear yourself, do you enjoy your own voice? Do you enjoy your own bangs? Or are you like, oh, my voice is gross, get it off?
No, you kind of like, who is this screaming fool? You just chill out there, pal. But what I do when I do watch them or somebody sends something to me, it brings me memories of the particular game and how exciting the games were, and how a great player can step up. I'm blown away by the talent of these guys and what they're able to do. And for Ray Allen, like especially Ray Allen one, here's a guy. I watched him play for however many years. I think he played like 17 years. And any game I ever broadcast that he played in, whether it was Milwaukee, Boston, Miami, and I must have done 100 Ray Allen games, maybe more. He was at the arena when I arrived, on the court, already shooting. And that shot he hit in Game 6, I saw him take hundreds of those in pregame warmups. So that was no fluke. That was something that it was just in his arsenal. And the practice year after year of doing it, and in the biggest moment of his career, he was able to knock it down.
Yeah. So, Mike, your career is fascinating because I think a lot of the guys that we hear calling national games, that's kind of what they always have done. But you started in radio, and you worked for Don Imus, and I read a story that you basically were working 5 a.m. in the morning and then calling Knicks games at night, which it's incredible, and it's also a testament to your hard work and getting to the place you are. But how much did radio help you in doing the live broadcasts of games? And I would assume, like, you have a great sense of humor. And I think, when you're in, do you call back on that when it's a blowout, or it's like, I got to fill some time?
Well, the radio part was instrumental. It's much harder to do a radio broadcast than a TV broadcast because you have to describe everything. You've got to be it's not a cliche. You have to be the eyes of the listener, and if you can do that, when you start to do TV, you have to pull back a little bit, and there are other obstacles that are difficult. The way you work in your partners a little more difficult. You obviously have a producer and director that talk to you in the ear while you're doing the game. But radio it's the ultimate foundation to start, and that's what I did. My first broadcasts were all radio at the Fordham radio station, and then my first job I was a news reporter on the radio for a Poughkeepsie radio station in New York. So it created a foundation that allowed me to be on the air quite a bit and get better, because if after you do it for a while, if you don't get better, then you need to do something else. But it gave me the chance to improve and work on my on-air presentation, so to speak.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we learned of the news of Bill Walton's tragically passing away yesterday, and we talked about him on Tuesday's show and how much of an icon he was, and what a great human he was, and what an interesting individual he was. And I know that you have a personal relationship with him. And at one point, you told a reporter that you would fight anybody to the death if you heard them speak ill of Bill Walton. And I want to hear your story about Bill and why he meant so much to you.
Yeah, that was an article Katie Baker, the wonderful writer for The Ringer, wrote it. And I'll try not to make it too long. I apologize, guys.
No, go as long. We loved Bill. We talked about it on our show. We had the joy of getting to interview him once, and it's like when I retire someday, that will be up there with, like, I got to spend 3 hours with Bill Walton. Like, that was incredible.
That's up there for me as well. The story was this is about 15 years ago. My dad had Parkinson's disease, and it was advancing to the point where we were worried he's not going to get out of the house. He wasn't going to be able to get out of the house. Now, we lived in New York, and my younger brother Pete called me up and said, "Hey, before he can't travel anymore, let's take him to see the USS Midway." The Midway is the aircraft carrier. It's in San Diego right now as a museum, and my dad served on the Midway in the Korean War. Had not been on the ship since he left the service. So we made plans to go and take him out to see the Midway one last time. And I called Bill, because Bill lives in San Diego. I said, "I need a hotel recommendation." Well, of course, Bill's like, you're not staying in a hotel, you're staying in my home. So we planned this 3-day trip out there. And for 3 days, when we get out there, Bill was by my father's side for 3 straight days. First thing he did is he put him in the bedroom, the Bob Dylan room. All Bill's rooms in his home were named after people, mostly musicians. And the Bob Dylan room was a place of honor. So he put my dad in the Bob Dylan room. And, you know, every meal, John, you sit here next to me. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. We'd go for drives to places. John, you sit in the front seat with me. They were inseparable for 3 days. Bill would not leave his side. And then the day we went to see the Midway, where I was thinking we're just going to go buy tickets like anybody can get a tour. Well, the day before, he had called over to the Midway and told them that one of your heroes is returning to the ship that he served on. So when we get there, we are greeted by the commander of the Midway, and he takes us on this 2-hour tour in and out. And guys, an aircraft carrier is no place for a 7-foot man who has back, knee, and ankle problems. It was a painful walk for Bill, but he, every step of the way, never left my father's side. It was really emotional for him, for my dad, going back in the condition he was in. And he broke down a couple of times. And every time he broke down, my brother and I did the same thing. And I'd look at Bill, and there's Bill. He's got tears just streaming down his cheeks. So then we get back to the house after just amazing day that meant so much to my father, and that Bill came with him. I couldn't find the two of them. Like, where'd they go? Bill had a teepee in his yard. I mean, an enormous teepee that you could sleep a number of people. And I go back looking. There's the two of them sitting in the teepee, just talking about life, and Bill listening to my father's stories and back and forth. So when we left, Bill wasn't my friend. Bill was my father's friend. And he didn't live much longer after that. And my mother, who's still alive, she said until he passed, he talked about that all the time. It was in a tough stretch. The end of his life was very difficult. Those were the 3 best days in the last years of his life. And there's a huge picture still in this day. My mother still lives in the same house. There's a huge picture of the two of them sitting in the teepee together that she adores the picture. And when I was given the Gowdy Award at the Basketball Hall of Fame, I took my whole family up there, including my mother. And there are so many NBA legends there. She had no interest, and she's a basketball fan. She had no interest in meeting any of them. She just kept saying to me, "Where's Bill? I need to meet Bill Walton." And when she met him, and I get emotional even thinking about it. She just wanted to say thank you for what you did for my husband. Yeah. What he did those 3 days were 3 of the happiest days of my father's life.
It's incredible.
That's such a good story.
Yeah, I mean that is so Bill Walton. Like, he just, like I said, even the 3 hours we spent with him, he makes you feel like the most important person in the world, and he does that it seems like he did that for everyone. Right.
You think you're the only one that he's sending these wonderful texts to, or he's doing those? He does it for.
Yeah, I know.
And it's, how many people in our lives, when they say your name or say their name to you, the first reaction you have is you smile or you laugh. And anytime anybody would say, "Hey, tell me about Bill Walton," I'd either laugh or smile, and then I'd go into a story. And that's the gift he gave all of us, in that no matter if he was with you or even when he wasn't with you, when he came up, you had to smile.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He really was the best. So in your career, doing the Knicks, now doing national broadcasts, is there a moment that you look back at and you're like, that was when it not became easy, but like, oh, I'm really good at this and I can feel comfortable being in the booth? Because I'm sure most broadcasters, I deal with it myself, like a little bit of imposter syndrome. Like, am I going to be good at this? Was there a moment where it clicked and you're like, I'm really good at this. I'm Mike Breen. Bang.
That's interesting you say that, because that never fully goes away.
Yeah.
You always think, okay, I better be prepared. I've got to do my best, because, do they still think I'm good enough to do this? So there are other people who are better. That's something that drives you. But it's just a matter I mean, I still get nervous before NBA Finals games, or a big playoff game 7 or something. But it's good butterflies. It's adrenaline butterflies. And if I didn't have them, I think I'd be more worried than I have them. And I think it's good. I think it's a good motivator. But it's like everything you do. Like, I remember the first NBA game I ever did. I was so nervous. My voice must have been so high. And then the first close game you did, that it's like this great fight to the finish. I was hyperventilating as the game is going on, trying to keep up with it. Then it's the first close playoff game you do. So each step that you take in terms of the magnitude of the game, you need to do it. At least for me, you need to do it a few times before you really feel comfortable. But what's always helped me, whether it's a huge game, whether it's just a regular season game that doesn't have a lot of meaning, if you go in prepared, if you're fully prepared, then you can relax knowing that whatever happens, at least you'll know how to deal with it. And that's what's always kept my confidence, is that my preparation allows me to feel confident when I go on the air.
Yeah.
So what does preparing look like for you? I think some people out there think that announcers are they're handed a big sheet of paper with all the stats that they have to read off, and that's it. Then they just go and they commentate on what they see. But when you're preparing for a game, how much time does it take, and what do you do specifically to prepare?
No, that's basically it. I get handed the sheet. No, it's I tend to, and I'm sure every announcer will tell you this, you tend to over prepare. I think of all the stuff that you do, if maybe you get 15% of that preparation on the air, that's a lot. And the way I like to phrase it on a basketball game is, okay, so each player, like in an NBA game now, there are 13 active players on each team for that game. What I want to do is I want to have, if that any of those 13 players, either the best player or the 13th, has the game of their life, I want to be able to have enough information on them to tell their story in terms of where they are in their career, what they've done, where they've come from. And that's part of the preparation for me for an NBA game.
Yeah. Now, I would assume the answer is no, but are you ever preparing like time filler, blowout talking points? Do you ever go to a game, you don't want it to be a blowout, but in the back of your head, you're like, if it is, like, we could talk about this or that, or is it all just kind of stream of consciousness, whatever's happening?
No, that's pretty much that's part of the preparation.
Oh.
And like to have, like for me with players, I like to have personal anecdotes about players. So when a game gets out of hand, at least you can do is you can kind of talk about their upbringing, where they came from, or their history in terms of clutch games, or whatever kind of information you want. And the other thing I try and do is league issues. Have there been a lot of traveling calls lately? What's the reason for that? And even different things like other NBA things that are going on, like there've been a rash of technicals or whatever. But I try and have some league issue stuff on the side and personal anecdotes on the side in case it gets like that.
Yeah. Has your job become more difficult with replay? Not because obviously replay helps get the calls right, but the pauses in the game and you guys having to sit there while, they look over video for 3-4 minutes in the middle of an intense playoff environment. Has that made it more difficult to broadcast?
I don't know if it's made it more difficult. I think it hurts the product a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's become a necessary evil, and they're certainly not going back to no replay. But there are certain times that the flow of the game is affected, and that's when the game's at its best. The end of a game where they're just going back and forth, and when it stops with the replays. Now, the league did address that a couple of years ago, and they did change some of the replays, especially the out of bounds. If you remember, they used to have last 2 minutes, every out of bounds call they could review, and they did. They fortunately they got rid of that, so they're trying to do a better job, and I think it's worked. But those games, especially a playoff game, where it's like a 3-4 minute review, those are maddening. To me, it's like, okay, if it's going to take this long, just go with the initial call and move on, and everybody will accept that. And I think players and coaches would accept that as well.
Yeah, I'd agree.
It does. It gets stretched out sometimes, and you're just like, okay, we see what the call should be. Why is it taking them so long to make that announcement? I'm curious to know, because you've seen so much of the NBA, you've watched all the best players up close. Who's the guy that you got, maybe it's a current player, maybe it's a former player, that you would get the most excited to do his game, to be able to sit front row and watch this guy play?
But it changes every year. like this year, Wembanyama. I couldn't wait to do one of his games because I've never seen anything like it. Same thing in the last couple of years, like when Doncic first came in, like, oh, I got a Dallas game. Good. I can see this amazing player. Obviously, Kobe was every game. There was something electric about him. He just had something. And Michael as well. I think the current guys now, the two guys that you can't wait to see, and even at their age that they're playing, LeBron James and Steph Curry. The two of them, there's never an off night in terms of their focus and their effort in what they bring. And they know their responsibility, too, of the people who are paying a lot of money to come see them play in particular. So there's a lot of them. Tim Duncan was another one that, even though he wasn't flashy, just how in such a business-like fashion, he would just obliterate his opponent and never change his expression. So there's so many of them like that, and it's that's why I know this sounds corny, guys, but it's such an honor to call these games and a privilege. These guys work so hard to play and get to the level that you want to get it right. I feel you have a responsibility to get their moment right by a call that's worthy of the play.
Yeah. So that makes me think, have you ever gotten it wrong? Have you ever disappointed yourself and then gone back home and been like, damn it, Mike Breen, what did you just do?
Oh, all the time. I mean, I make mistakes every night. I've been doing that. I've been making mistakes every night for 30 years plus. But it's the end of game ones. There was a game, was it last year? Game 1 of the playoffs, where Jason Tatum hit a big shot at the end. And I butchered the call so badly because I didn't see it correctly, and I didn't sync it with the clock, and it was an absolute mess. I didn't sleep that night, and part of it is you ruin the call for the player. So here's this big moment, you ruin the call. The other thing is, basketball is a team sport to play. It's a team sport to broadcast, and I felt like I let the rest of the crew down because we had, up until then, it was an amazing game, and we had all the right replays and graphics and sound bites, and Jeff and Mark, who were my partners, were outstanding down the stretch of this close game with strategy. I thought I was having one of my best games, and then the last play, I just killed it, and it was awful.
Mike Breen is being brought to you by Meta and Facebook. Everyone should explore their interests. If you do it on Facebook, there's a world of possibilities that open up to you when you tap into the people and the products on their platform. With Facebook Reels, you can discover so many sports tips, tricks, seriously up your game, maybe add a couple inches of that vert. First and foremost is the people on Facebook. You can use the marketplace, groups, and Reels in your interest exploration. Facebook is so amazing. What's so amazing about Facebook is where it's going to take you. I am a Facebook user. I've been on Facebook since 2003. Old school, baby. That's right. I use Facebook all the time. I'm sure you guys have it. Check out Facebook Reels. You're going to love them. If you want to discover more, visit Facebook. And now, here's more Mike Breen.
Here's a business idea for you. Why don't you just have a service where you'll redo any of the mistakes for a little fee? Maybe then, whoops, Mike Breen's losing it a little. He's messing up a couple calls. Oh, Jason Tatum, you want this call redone? No problem. I got you.
It's like Cameo.
Yeah.
Just for the players' calls that you screwed up.
Yeah.
Guys are always coming up with business ideas like this. I need that kind of thought process for sure.
We get a cut of that. That should have been. You should have read the fine print before you got into this interview. Any business idea we come up with, we get at least 15%.
Yeah, if you triple bang, I'm
Yeah,
gonna send my lawyers after you.
Triple bang is for sure. We're wetting the beak on that one.
It's become like the razor wars, where it's like the first company said we've got 2 razors, and the other company said how about 3 razors?
I think
what about 4.
I think you're gonna triple bang at some point, Mike.
Yeah, you will.
I think you just you want to say you're not going to, but I think there's going to be a moment that you're just not going to be able to stop yourself.
Well, again, and I'm not just saying it. It comes out. If there's an NBA Finals Game 7 that's decided by a 3-pointer, I might lose it completely on something.
Yeah,
it might be like 10 bangs. You just might. That might be the only word that you say for the rest of your life.
A triple bang might sound better than a double bang.
I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, a bang, bang, bang.
How'd that sound?
That sounds good.
Sound right to me.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang,
bang.
There's got to be a pause in between them.
All right, give us a triple bang right now.
No,
You're smart. You're
Yeah.
smart. You're a smart guy.
Don't waste that. Yeah, no, yeah. I
We
think-
would have definitely dubbed that over every like clank.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the 3 bangs would have to increase in excitement. So you start out with a normal bang, louder, and then screaming, just yelling your face off at the 3rd bang.
Yeah.
Nice little
Right.
crescendo.
Yeah.
it's all inspiration.
Yeah. Can you tell us just how crazy the Malice at the Palace was from your point of view? Because I think we're at the point now where it's been over 20 years and everyone knows it, but there's a new crop of sports fans that don't understand just how insane it was watching. I remember watching it live and being like, what is going on right now? And you were there calling the game. Just how nuts was it to see that?
By the way, I was calling the game with Bill.
Yep.
Bill and Jim Gray was our sideline, and I remember I've never seen Bill so upset from something that happened on the court. He felt he was wounded on how he felt this look for the league and the sport that he loves so much. He was really, really, really down after that, and we stayed up to like 2 or 3 in the morning talking about the game, and he just couldn't believe that something happened on national TV because it was in person. It was uglier than when you watched it on television. And the reason was every time it seemed like the security and the refs got a handle on it, something worse happened and then more. And even like when the players went into the stands, it was like, I don't believe we're actually watching this. And even when they finally got him off, there were some more skirmishes and it just seemed like it wouldn't end. But the thing that worried me the most was we were on the opposite side of the benches. The crowd started coming down in mass. And that's what was worried. Like, is the crowd going to come down and start more of this and attacking? And then there's nobody that could possibly break it up. There's not enough security to break that up. And that was worrisome to me, this mob mentality that you felt was developing. And I'll never forget, I've told this story a bunch, when the Pacers, they were trying to get him off the court and to go to the visiting locker room. It's a narrow little hallway with the stands like right above. So if you're in this one part of the stands, you can almost reach down and touch their head. And I remember when the players were trying to get off, there was a woman who was really nicely dressed like she was going out to dinner. And she was like standing right there amidst these guys who were just screaming and yelling and cursing. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, this poor woman is in the midst of this mess. And all of a sudden she takes out a full bottle of water and just heaves it at one of the players' heads. And that's, to me, that was like, okay, this woman would have never done anything like that, but she got caught up in this mob mentality that everybody's emotions just ran amok. And that's, to me, that was the scariest part of the whole thing.
It was like something you hope will never happen again. But while watching it, just like, what is it? You're right. Like, it was just the waves of it. Whereas like, oh man, there's another person. There's another person. There's another guy. Oh, there's Turtle from Entourage. He just got knocked out. Like,
I actually thought you did a very good job of telling people what was going on as it was happening, because in a situation like that, it's just such chaos in the building. You still were like, you got a job to do, Mike. You have to tell people exactly what's going on, who's in the stands, who's on the court, what's happening. Was that a conscious decision you made in the moment? Like, I'm going to stand here. I'm going to just kind of be like a play-by-play announcer for a giant brawl.
Well, I give credit to, at that time, the Knicks had been involved in a number of different brawls. So it wasn't the first one. You know, I talked before about how the first time you experience something on the air, you kind of have to navigate and sometimes make mistakes the first time, and then you get better each time. Well, I got better with each basketball brawl. And by this time, I had done a few of them. And I remember, I can't remember where I first heard it from, but they said when something like that happens, do play-by-play. Just do the play-by-play. Talk about what you see. It's obviously not basketball. It's a fight. And that's what I tried to do on that particular night.
yeah.
I'm also curious to know from your point of view how the game of basketball has obviously changed a lot in the last 20, 30 years. How has the announcing game changed?
Whew. That's a great question.
Great question.
Thank you.
First off, you know, the technology in terms of coverage and the amount of cameras and the ability of the cameras to catch every little thing really gives you a better insight and feel of specific plays, in-depth look at, whether fouls are called, et cetera. It's just, I'm amazed by the technology. I do think the analytics has just gone crazy, and they're great for the game. They're great for the fan, but trying to find a balance between, okay, let's do some numbers, but let's not get crazy with numbers, because too much numbers, the spoken word can just get all mangled up into one thing. So I think that's two of the ways that it's changed. I think another thing, if you look back at any sport, and I'm sure you guys have seen this, you go back to an older game broadcast in the 70s or in the 80s, and often you don't think the announcers are that excited.
Mm-hmm.
There was a much more a calmer way of calling the game, even big moments. Yeah, that they raised their level a little bit, but the calls have become much more high intensity than they ever used to. Compare a 1970s or 80s call of a finals game or a Super Bowl, and then compare it to now. It's different in a lot of cases, and I think that's a big part that it's become okay. In fact, it's become a good way to show you're excited as much of a fan. Back in the old days, you wouldn't do that because you'd sound like a fan. Now I think it's more encouraged, and I think fans like that you're excited or as excited as they are sometimes on a big play.
Yeah, I mean, I love like the home broadcast, whether it be for basketball or baseball, where it's like you can kind of mix that the guys are rooting for the same thing that you're rooting for. For you, the Knicks, and then you call the Knicks all during the regular season, then you got to call them in the playoffs. Was that difficult, and did you get any? Were Knicks fans mad at you because you are their voice and they listen to you all regular season? Now you're in the playoffs and you have to call it down the middle. Did you find yourself slipping at all, or was there any moments you're like, oh man, I kind of hope the Knicks win this game?
Yeah, no, I'd hope not on the air, but I know some Knicks fans are upset. Like Nembhard hit a big three to win a game 3 against the Pacers, and he got a bang there, and Knicks fans were like mad that I did a bang for an opponent. Pacer fans were very upset. They felt we were way too pro Knick and rooting for the Knicks. I went back and especially on games like that. I don't do it a lot, but I went back and watched the games to see if I felt there was bias, because I'd like to think I'm my harshest critic, and I didn't see that. So I felt good about it, but I know, there's always people that think that you're rooting one way or the other for whoever the team is.
Yeah, it's also just got to be difficult for you just sitting there because you're sitting in, MSG and you've been doing it all year, and then you're watching the same team that you know so well. It's like kind of hard to not have something slip out. It's a testament to you and your professionalism, but I would definitely just be like, yeah, I'm rooting for the Knicks. I'm
yell
a
at the
Knicks
refs,
fan.
yeah.
What do you want me to say? Like, I want to keep calling Knicks games.
I've done enough of them over the years, and there's so much to concentrate on in terms of the actual job that it's not as hard as you think. I'm sure there's some people that will disagree, but I'd like to think we did a nice, unbiased, down the middle call.
What about Luka? We were talking with Rachel Nichols last week about Luka Doncic and how he likes to get in the refs' ear. He likes to get in everybody's ear. When he's yelling at the refs, is he yelling in was it Slovenian or is he yelling in English?
I think he mixes it up. He's trying to get better. He was really bad, probably the worst in the league for a couple of years, but he's really trying to get better. There was a game recently where he started to get mad and he stopped and he went up to the ref. He had his hands together like he was praying, like, please, I just want to talk to you. I don't want to yell. I want to talk to you. So he's working on it. Sometimes we do forget these guys are so young. It's like, I can imagine me 22 being in that kind of hostile atmosphere, the pressure of playing against the best in the world. It's hard not to get emotional. And I think he's gotten better at it. And hopefully that'll continue, because, man, he is a generational player. So competitive. And JJ Redick, who now is one of my partners on ESPN and ABC, he played with him. And because Luka's pretty close to the vest with the media, it's hard to kind of get close and get to know what he's really like. JJ says he's one of the best teammates he's ever been around. The guy is like so normal off the court. and just an encouraging, supportive teammate.
So, what was your advice to JJ when he told you last week that he was going to leave and take the Lakers job after these NBA Finals?
So when the word came out, we've been having a lot of fun with him. It's clearly a compliment that he's thought of so highly, his basketball mind, that teams would be interested. So I told him, I said, listen, if you take one of these jobs, I'd be so happy for you, and I'd root like crazy for you, and I would never talk to you again.
Yeah.
He would collect like all the stones of being one of the most hated people, being a Duke guy and a Laker.
Yeah, you
at
need
the
to
same time.
keep him around, because when JJ Redick sits next to you, people will just like naturally be like, I like that other guy who's not JJ Redick, because just years of just having all this hate build up in us for JJ Redick, you can't help it. You're just like, yeah, shut up, JJ Redick. Let Mike Breen talk.
He has amazing stories about when he played at Duke, and it wasn't easy, to say the least. There's some mean, cruel, ugly crowds that he had to deal with, and the amount of mental toughness to be able to deal with that and play at the level he played while he was at Duke, I find remarkable. And now getting to know him, the guy he's got such a brilliant basketball mind. And what I love is he loves the game as much as any player that I've ever been around. And that combination is pretty cool to be around.
All right, we're gonna cut that part because we're not complimenting JJ on this podcast. I wanted to go back to a name that you mentioned earlier, Michael Kay, who's the voice of the Yankees, who was your good friend at Fordham. And did you ever? I mean, do you guys pinch yourself being like, we were sitting, at the freshman dorms or wherever it may be at Fordham, saying, oh, we want to be the voice of the Knicks and the voice of the Yankees, and then it happened? Like, that's crazy that happened.
Well, the first part did happen, and we would say that like, what if you could pick any job, what would you want to be? And his was the Yankees, and mine was the Knicks, and mine was the Knicks. And we talk about it a lot. We realize how blessed we are. We can't believe it. I'm so proud of him. And how long he's been there. I mean, it's just incredible that it's maybe the number one franchise in all of sports, and he's been there for so many years and has done such a fantastic job. So it's the odds of that happening, I think, are probably small, but we do talk about it, and we realize how lucky we are.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
When you were a kid, did you have, we were talking about an athlete the other week that wrote down, like, I will be an NFL football player in the draft, and then put it up on the wall of his house. Did you want to be a professional athlete, or did you want to be a broadcaster for sports?
Oh no, I wanted to be a Major League Baseball player. I wanted to play for the Mets.
Yeah.
I was a skinny kid, so Bud Harrelson was my favorite player. So every uniform that I wore, Little League, and I think even in high school when I played baseball, always wanted to get number 3. So that was it. But I have a lot of faults, but one strength I have is I'm very well aware of my limitations, and I knew very early I had no shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're this high school kid with a booming voice, and your coach is probably like, have you ever thought about talking about sports instead of playing? Like, when did you realize you had a good voice?
Yeah.
I never realized that. And you know what? That's another part of the question you asked before. If I can go sideways for a second.
Yeah.
There was a time in the industry where if you didn't have those golden pipes that, you didn't get a job. And now you don't have to have the golden pipes. You just have to be able to project and have a voice that cuts through the sound and stuff like that. But I never felt I had that kind of deep pipes that they talk about. I didn't start thinking about it till I was like 16 or 17, because a neighborhood friend was working at a college radio station, and he kind of put the bug in my ears. Guy Tony Minicola in Yonkers, where I grew up, and that's the first time I thought about doing it.
Tony Minicola,
Yeah.
what a name!
It's a great name.
Yeah.
What,
So did you ever have to like lose the New York accent?
Oh yeah. If I get tired, it'll come out. Like the G on ing words, they're nowhere to be found when I start to get tired. And every once in a while, there's other words that come out. But I've tried to work on it.
So did you have to practice that?
No, not really. Just more enunciate. That was my biggest flaw, was that I didn't fully enunciate words. I'd leave off like the last letter of some words and just get a little lazy, I guess.
Yeah. What's probably a dumb question. What's the best arena to call a game in? Because, we ask that with athletes all the time. Like, what's the toughest place to play? Is there a best and a toughest place to call a game at?
There's a number of arenas that are just off the charts, that it just, you feel it in your bones when you're sitting there. Madison Square Garden is right up there. There is no better place when it's a big event.
Yeah.
Whether it's basketball, whether it's hockey, even like a concert, there's just no better place. The old Chicago Stadium was the loudest building I've ever been in. You could be sitting right next to the person, and when the Bulls fans were going crazy, I could be screaming and you wouldn't hear a word I say. Oracle Arena at the Golden State old arena was as loud as they come. The TD Garden is fantastic right now, the one in Boston. Oklahoma City, it's like a college crowd there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any bad ones? Is there not bad in terms of the crowd, but in terms of the setup, where it's like, the sight lines, or, it's a little bit more difficult. I got to be on my A game tonight.
Well, when you do national games, the sight lines are the same. Mid-court, courtside.
Yep.
Fantastic. Ask for better. What's changed in the industry, and here's another part of the other answer, they've now moved the local broadcasts, both radio and TV, in a number of arenas up above the first level. And that can be hard. There's some really rough ones where you're way up and you wind up doing a lot of the game off the monitor as opposed to watching in person. You're there in the arena and you're doing the game off the monitor. And I think there's like 13 arenas now where they have us way up, and it's unfortunate. I think it compromises the product. It's not good for the fans who are watching at home because we can't do as good a job. But it's all about selling the seats down low where we used to be for a lot of money.
Yeah.
What about the meal situation? Is there one team that's known to hook you guys up with some real choice cuts?
Good question.
Thank you.
Well, if you've been doing this a long time, you know that's not only a good question, it's one of the most important questions.
Mm-hmm.
Because I eat wherever, I like to eat at the arena when I get there. And when you have good food at a media dining, as they call it, dining's depending on where you go, perhaps not the right word. There's no question. We talk about that all the time. We rate them. Who's got the best, who's not the best. Like we're just in Boston. Boston has a great one, just a great one. And Dallas is another one that has one of the better meal rooms too.
What's your pregame meal? Is it something that you stick to, or are you a creature of habit where you have the same thing before or do you just kind of mix it up depending where you are?
No, I'll eat anything. I have my appetite is whatever's available, and that includes as much dessert as possible. In fact, JJ was making fun of me. He goes, "How could you eat dessert before a game?" And I say, "How can you not eat dessert?"
It's such a Duke.
See,
guy.
isn't he the worst? He's the worst. All right. Well, so Mike, this has been so awesome. I have one last question for you. It's the Roback question, RHOBACK.com. Promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts, Roback.com, promo code TAKE. So you have called so many NBA games. You are the voice of the NBA. That's how I introduced you here, and I do believe that. You've also called the Olympics. I got to go try to track it down. You called ski jumping? How was that? Was that like, what do they even do in ski jumping? They just jump, right?
It was one of the coolest things I've ever done. And the thing is, here I'm the announcer on ski jumping. I was never on skis in my life at that point. But they gave me an analyst, a guy named Jeff Hastings, who was an American ski jumper. And he took all care of the technology. I'd basically say who the jumper was, where he was from, his record, his history, and all that kind of stuff. And then the guy would take off and Jeff would take over. And he would he could see if this was going to be a good one or a bad one, how deep it was, how high it was, all that kind of stuff. And it was really fun because I took it from a standpoint of a novice. I didn't know anything about it. So the questions I asked him, anybody who is an idiot about skiing, that's what they were going to ask that. And that's what I asked because I didn't know any better. And I felt I was actually really proud of that because I took it from a standpoint of, all right, I'm a viewer who does not know the sport and I have a chance to ask him this. But a part of the thing that was so hard is you couldn't do it live. What we would do is you'd sit there and you'd watch 30 guys go off. And NBC wouldn't have all 30 guys on their coverage. They'd only take 10. So they would take the top 10 scores. We'd go into a studio, and now we'd have to announce it like it was live going on. And I could have cheated, if I knew this guy was going to good, I could have said, I just get the feeling this is going to be a special jump.
Yeah.
But I didn't do it, and Jeff didn't do it. But it was interesting trying to manufacture the enthusiasm on a big jump like that when we knew whether he finished second or he finished 43rd.
Yeah. Did you bang it all then or no?
No.
Oh, would have been awesome.
No, that would have been if they crashed, not if they just hit.
What if they hit like a big one? I don't even know what a big one is called in ski jump, but they hit the big one. You just give them a bang. Can bang go in any other sports? Could you use it in any other sports?
I suppose.
We should think
Boxing.
Yeah.
Feel like boxing would be a good one.
Boxing would be good. I did the NFL for a number of years, long time ago, and maybe on a great catch in the end zone. I don't know.
A field goal, long field goal.
Yeah, long field goal would work.
Really, a field goal?
Yeah.
Game-winning field goal?
Game-winning field goal, bang
You
works.
can bang a field goal.
Right. Now, do you do it like soon as it goes through the crossbars? Do you wait till the hands go up? I mean,
I think you go hands.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think you wait for hands.
You can't miss that bang. If it looks like it's good and it's short and the refs don't, you can't prematurely bang.
Yeah. Yeah.
like that.
No bang.
Yeah. Is there
Falling off the bang.
Is there any other sport that you would like to do? Or are you just going to be basketball for the rest of your life?
Yeah, I've been kind of a one-trick pony. I think I'd love to do, because I'm a huge Met fan, I would love to do a Met game someday.
Oh.
Ooh, you could bang a third strike for sure.
Or a home run?
Yeah.
Yeah. We should do a broadcast. Mike Breen and Frank the Tank.
Oh.
We got a color guy for you.
Yeah. Do you know Frank the Tank? Are you aware of Frank the Tank?
Yes, I'm aware of Frank the Tank.
You
Okay, I
are.
mean everyone is. You can't be I think that's you're not a New Yorker if you don't know who Frank the Tank is.
But I think what else? I love golf, so I would love to do a golf broadcast someday. Use my voice.
Yeah. Careful with that. That's when everyone started hating Joe Buck again. Because they already hated him and then they started hating him again after that.
Well, it's funny, like you asked about, do you have haters? And you really do after a while. You develop a thin skin, and you're like you don't worry about it. And one thing that I think Joe Buck is one of the most talented people who've ever done this. The guy is phenomenal at any sport. One of the greats of all time on the Mount Rushmore, whatever you want to say. So if he gets criticism, anybody could get criticism.
Yeah.
He told us one time he peed in a bottle during a game because
Yeah.
he had to go. Have you ever done that? It's probably harder for you because you're not up in the booth.
Joe went there. I don't think people need to know that.
Yeah, yeah. We know we love Joe. He's a friend of ours. He's also addicted to hair plugs, so we should plug that for him. Almost took his voice away.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a big head. He's got a lot to cover.
Joe has a big head.
Yeah, he's got a big head. Real
Pretty big. It's big for his size.
What? Oh, we got Knicks fans are just like circling outside of our office, being like, "Oh, Mike Breen's on the call. We gotta." So you have a lot of fans in this office. If you call a Bulls game next year, we'd love to have you come by. Maybe you could call us playing 5-on-5, and that would be probably the end of your career.
But I promise I will come by. You guys are so much fun. I'm honored to be on.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Thank
thanks
you.
so much, Mike. We love you, and we're excited for the finals and for you to give us a great finals.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
Mike Breen was brought to you by our great friends over at Chevy. Love Chevy. Love the Silverado. Everyone knows it's a Chevy truck podcast. They are the greatest trucks ever built. Our good friends at Chevy are a big part of my take story. We've had Chevy on board for many, many years. They do the Low Man Trophy every single fall, give it to the nation's top collegiate fullback. The Silverado's taken us across the country to go to the big game from Connecticut all the way to California. It helped us dig the biggest hole ever dug in the state of Ohio, at least. We're in the back of a Chevy Silverado for that. Chevy Silverado, longtime awesome partner of the show. It's a truck with commanding, unstoppable grit. legendary capability, dependability too. Every time we do a shoot with a Silverado, I just have to stop and just stare at the truck for a good 5 minutes before I even start. Then I get in, I picture myself being a Silverado owner. It's a great feeling. Go to your Chevy dealership, take one for a spin, find out for yourself like so many other AWLs. Go to Chevy.com, check out all the Chevy truck grit, build your own Silverado today. For do-it-yourself projects to road trips, off-road adventures to tailgates, whatever your thing is, it all starts with a Chevy truck.
Okay, Hank, finish us off. Firefest. Nothing?
Nothing at all?
What about the John
the
Daly
John Daly challenge. John Daly challenge.
Oh.
No spoilers.
Well, yeah, don't spoil the video, Hank.
How'd you guys feel the day after?
Terrible.
I felt concerningly good.
Yeah, I didn't feel that bad.
I want another cigarette.
Yeah.
I didn't sleep that night, and I felt bad. It's basically not Memorial Day weekend. The John Daly
Yeah, it
challenge
wasn't Memorial Day weekend.
left me with
Had nothing to do with Memorial Day
6-day hangover.
Really strings,
Hand up.
out, nothing.
Do you think maybe the not sleeping had anything to do with the copious amounts of Adderall you took before the challenge?
I did take a couple Adderalls.
He is prescribed.
Yeah, it's
I am
label.
prescribed, and I don't really. Yeah, whatever.
He just said we were driving up to the suburbs, and he just said to me, I gotta take some Adderall because there's no way I'm able to smoke these cigarettes without it.
I don't like smoking cigs,
and then
so I had.
I know he's just like, I was like, you want to drive the car?
I tried to drink like a couple beers because I don't really smoke cigs, but when I do, I'm like very drunk. So I was like, maybe I have to, feel a little alcohol in me.
I only drink when I smoke.
What was I about to say? Fuck. Oh, and then I was also Adderall makes me mute, so I was just a miserable fuck on the video, and you guys are.
It makes you good at golf.
Yeah.
Tune in.
Yeah, I mean at times.
Or don't, especially my mom.
At times you were good. So my Firefest was going to be like I miss smoking cigarettes.
Yeah,
I miss it a lot.
So Hank, you just had an awesome week.
This week's flown by.
Well, because it was only 4 days.
I know.
I feel like this is a shorter week than every
Also,
every
at the
week.
time of this recording,
Yeah,
it's been 3 days.
Yeah, it's Thursday,
It's flown by.
Tuesday, Wednesday, and most of Thursday.
Yeah.
That's a short week.
I mean, we had a fun week. We did it. We golfed on Monday. We played roof ball today. We
Yeah.
got putt punk tomorrow.
It's been an awesome week.
It's been a fun week.
It's been the best weather. Like today was the best weather possible. Just not a cloud in the sky, 72 degrees.
Don't
Where
jinx it.
Celtics are in the finals. Like, life is good.
All right.
Yeah.
Good, Hank. Happy for you. I want you to be happy.
Thank you.
To a certain extent.
How's Duncan going?
It's going well. I trained 4 times this week. Well, 3 so far. 1 more tomorrow.
I'll say it. I'm getting a little nervous.
I
You do look like you're in better shape.
found a trainer that has his master's degree in
Dunking?
fitness. So he's like, we're going through a program that is designed for me to dunk, and I'm doing stuff that I never would do on my own, and it's working. So, and I think if I just
I need to dunk.
if I just stick to it, and I've told this guy a million times, he doesn't want to hear it, but once we get to September and it's lock-in time, the steroid conversation will probably happen.
Wait, what is this special routine that you're in? What kind of exercises is he having you do that you've never thought
Legs?
that you do yourself?
Legs,
Yeah.
all of the legs.
Feed the wolf.
A lot of plyometrics, a lot of jumping stuff, but just it's also just gradual increases versus, I'm like, let me put a bunch of weight on and try and do a couple good reps. It's lower weight, higher reps, and then the next week you do more weight. It's obviously for anyone that lifts weight and trains, it's no shit, dude, but
yeah.
I've never done that, so
Good
it's
for
working.
you. Good for you.
Good job, Hank.
Good job.
I got a couple Firefests. My first one was going to be about the golfing. I really enjoyed smoking the cigarettes. I don't smoke anymore, but now it rocked. It rocked, honestly, smoking cigarettes on the golf course, and I truly miss it. But I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to dive into it. But that kind of also goes against what I decided to do on last Saturday, which was I thought to myself, it's time to get back in shape. Got to get in shape before you're 40. Feel like anything you do before you're 40, that's who you're going to be after 40. 40 is a big cutoff.
Wait, but what about our deal? Because I'm with you. I've lost 10 pounds since football season. I've been trying to eat clean. Donnie's been cooking for us, playing basketball. What?
I've been cooking those too.
Oh, Hank's been cooking those too. The ones you cook are bad.
Well,
we agreed we were
going
gonna get
cut some
we were
tomatoes for Donnie, but
we're gonna get in great
I'm in the
shape at
kitchen.
40 and then just get fat again.
Then get fat, real fat right afterwards.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm
you
in for
into
that. I don't want to.
But that's what I'm saying. Like if I'm in shape the day I turn
And-
40, I can get fat and then get back in shape, no problem.
What weight are we hitting? I said 220, which is crazy.
So right now I'm at 183, but it's a bad 183. So I got to lose like 10 pounds and then gain 15 pounds back. So I want to end up at 190, but a good 190.
I was like
Fucking
247,
jacked 190.
50, 247, 50 floating after football season. I'm like 235 ish.
That's pretty good.
floating, 7, 8.
That's not bad. So to
I gotta lose
accomplish
like 20
this,
more pounds.
to accomplish this, I decided to start intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
So I only eat between noon and 8 p.m.
Didn't eat any wings tonight.
Didn't eat a single wing tonight. It was very mean that you guys ordered wings after I told you I wasn't eating after 8, my favorite food in the entire world. But I've kind of put a twist on it because I think with intermittent fasting, you can just eat whatever the fuck you want
Yeah, it's
between
true.
noon and 8, right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying a new diet that I think I invented, which is strictly Uncrustables. So I had 4 Uncrustables on Tuesday. I had 4 on Wednesday. I had 2 today.
You look thinner.
I think I'm just going to eat.
that's it.
I think I'm going to eat Uncrustables. Just only Uncrustables.
Yeah, no wings.
No, but I'm saying that's all. Like, that's your intake of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 Uncrustables, no wings.
Well, 4. Yeah.
No, today.
My,
What about for
2 no
breakfast?
wings.
my meal plan? There's no breakfast. My meal plan is I eat 4 Uncrustables
You didn't
a
have
day.
any jambalaya today?
Yeah, but I also had the 2 Uncrustables.
That was roof
You
ball
didn't have any-
jambalaya.
I
That's
had
totally
to.
different.
You didn't have any pizza at Pop Punk practice?
No, I didn't, Max.
Oh, okay.
And he also
Good
didn't have
question.
any wings.
You narc.
I was just. I mean, we were chatting.
No, yeah, we were chatting, but
were
no,
chatting.
I did not. And then Memes is over here raining on my parade, being like, "Oh, you can't drink coffee."
How have you, of all people, not going to have a wing?
I didn't have any wings tonight.
Didn't have any wings. What are you talking about?
I didn't have a single wing.
No wings.
That's hard to believe.
I watched him. He went and sniffed him. He looked at him. It was very sad. I was like,
Yeah.
you have to have a wing.
Jake, back me up on this. Did I have a wing today?
No wings.
No wings.
Jake would
Pugs.
never lie.
Pug, you
Pug.
were in the kitchen.
You were in the kitchen.
Did PFT have any
PFT
wings?
Have any wings?
I did not see PFT have any wings. Pug.
Thank you, Pug.
Nice.
Honest men.
Why'd you say that so funny?
Yeah, but no, I think that there's something to the Uncrustable diet. I think that the Uncrustable is probably the perfect snack, the perfect meal, the perfect everything. I did not have an Uncrustable until it was like 2 years ago. I had my first one. Changed my life.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Overnight.
They're incredible.
I mean, we just kind of talked about it, but since I'm like a fitness expert now, what about, protein,
Peanut butter. There's peanut butter in Uncrustables.
No, he said he didn't have any wings.
greens?
There's purple in Uncrustables. Purple is a green.
PFT. so
Purple is a vegetable.
You saw the wings. Do you think they tasted good if you saw them?
I mean, I can't imagine. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I would have no idea.
I had one. It was hot as fuck. You tricked me with
It wasn't that
with a
hot. Hey,
brown-
you pussy.
You tricked me with one that looked like a barbecue wing, and I almost died.
Oh, that was the Nashville hot.
Yeah, it was hot
they're
as
very
fuck.
Yeah, I can't even begin to imagine what the wings tasted like. So I will not answer.
Definitely had one.
I didn't have a single wing. No.
No, he did not have one. He did not
I
have
had a
one.
bite of one.
No, he did not have one or a bite of
Did
one.
you have 2?
No, he did not have 2.
Did you have 3?
I didn't have a wing. I didn't have a wing. But yeah, dude, fuck it. Like I think that the Uncrustable diet. Some dietitian out there tell me that I'm right. I just need one person to say
You're
they're
right.
a dietitian.
If you were like 1 year old, I think you'd be in the clear.
You're right. No,
You
you're
think
right.
1-year-olds eat Uncrustables?
Or like, I don't know.
Yeah, not 1-year-olds, but like 2, 3.
My nephew eats Uncrustables.
It's
Yeah, I
the new
guess
diet.
my 1-year-old does.
It's the new diet. It's called Eat How You Dress. And I dress like a
Dress with
6-year-old.
no crust?
No, I dress like a 6-year-old.
Dressed like a chicken wing.
Most frequently. No, I dress like 3 chicken wings.
Or 4.
No. Anyways, me and Big Cat are gonna be fucking jacked up.
Dude,
by the
we
time
are.
this
Like,
over.
listen, can people be supportive? I know that I've said this many times before, but like 40 is, it's kind of fucking my head up.
Yeah.
And I would like to just be in decent shape. I spent my 30s being a fat fuck, working a lot. Let's get to 40 and just be beasts.
And then we're gonna be like 40 and a half and be fat again.
That's fine. As long as we kiss the wall. Just kiss the wall. Say we got there.
Yeah.
We could get there again if we want.
That's what I'm saying. Like if
Right.
you get there by the time you're 40, then when you're 45, oh, I was in good shape when I was 40.
Let's go back to
Yeah,
Uncrustables in 3 wings.
exactly. I'm just gonna eat 7 Uncrustables a day and get jacked. Dude, that's a good business idea. Like, what if there's Uncrustables with protein in them?
Yeah.
Like Uncrustables for the guy that works out hard,
Yeah.
that lifts heavy.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. So please be supportive. We're going to be 40. We should take pictures before and after. Well, I guess we're just taking pictures all the time.
yeah.
You'll see us. When you see us in Super Bowl week, it's going to be fucking on. We
Yeah.
might actually go topless all Super Bowl week.
What does the intermittent fasting thing say about drinking beers?
I don't know.
I would venture to say most of my beer consumption is post.
Isn't fasting just food?
I don't think it qualifies when you're like enjoying yourself.
Okay,
By the
when I'm
way-
having a good time.
Yeah.
If you're having a good time, you
Friday,
got a
Saturday,
smile on.
Sunday.
Super Bowl, I thought of a bet for our season-long contest. I don't know how many bars there are on Bourbon Street, but a loser has to put on a GoPro and just get a drink from every single bar.
Yep, in,
That'd be so funny.
in.
There's probably like 50. Probably way more, actually.
There, my guess is
I'm in. I don't think you would do that.
I would have to.
it's 30 bars.
All right, well, we'll figure it out. I mean, it would be funny. Maybe do Man on the Street. It would be funny. All right, we have a lot of time to decide that. All right, I have 2 Fire Fests. My first Fire Fest is next weekend. I'm going to
60. Sorry, there's 60 bars.
60 bars.
That's a lot of drinks.
That's too many drinks. Next week, I'm going to Belmont, at Saratoga, and the Fire Fest. I'm excited to go there, but you guys, I think some of you guys are going to be going to see the Red Stars play at Wrigley.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the NWSL, they sent us some kits. NWSL is hot right now. They're playing a game at Wrigley on Saturday. So that's next Saturday. The Red Stars are playing. So shout out Nike for the gear. Hank's going to grab his right now. He's going to rep it on Saturday. So see you all there.
I'm a big Washington Spirit fan.
Dude, a soccer game at Wrigley is going to be awesome. Yeah, you have, I think they gave you some.
Oh, sick. Dennis Rodman's daughter, Trinity Rodman. She's awesome.
These are sick jerseys. Okay. That's an awesome jersey. The Red Stars. All right. So, Hank, you going to go?
Yep.
Wrigley, Saturday. Red Stars are playing the National Women's Soccer League. So, look at that. Oh, that's a Washington. This is a Washington.
Okay, here you go. This is Chicago.
Oh, we just did a kit. We just did a jerseys.
Right, yeah.
Wait, no. Oh, yeah, no. I want one of the DC and you take one of the Chicago.
Hold it up. Hold them up.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah, I'm trying to just cross off like every Wrigley event that exists.
I love it. They do like
They
Top
did
Golf.
Top Golf
I
a
did
few
it.
weeks
I
ago.
Oh,
went.
you did it. Oh, nice. Of course you
Come
did.
on.
Stupid.
Was it
That
awesome?
was stupid of me.
Yeah, it was really cool.
All right, my other Fire Fest is I share some stuff about my kids. I think there's a good amount of dads that listen to Pardon My Take because we're aging. We're about to be 40. I'm now in the questions I can't answer phase with my son, and it's getting increasingly difficult. Can I throw some of them at you guys? Yesterday, you asked me what blueberries are made of.
Blue.
That's what I said.
Yeah, blue.
He didn't really take that for an answer.
Seeds.
He also asked me,
No.
when you die, do you become alive again?
How do you? Yeah, no, it's actually
That's a good question.
Yeah.
dogs.
Someone in his class is talking about death. and
Incarnation.
I don't want that kid around my son.
You know what a good thing to do is? You got to answer those questions with a question. Just got to say, why do you ask?
Just
Yeah. That doesn't work. Just
get like more
it doesn't work.
more childlike on him. Why?
His move is he goes, You're the adult, why don't you know?
That's a good
He
point.
he dropped that on me tonight.
It's a valid point.
maybe you bust out the Bible on them.
Just go Bible.
Yeah, just read him a passage and be like, "This is your answer," and he'll be like, "What?"
Yeah, the answer's in this book.
Yeah.
Read it.
Read it. What's stronger, our house or our car?
House.
Is it though?
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Car can hit you.
Yeah, but if a car hit your house, the car would break. The house would still stay.
But the house doesn't move. The car moves. It's a weapon.
The house is like an offensive lineman, and the car is like a linebacker.
Okay. All right, that works. And then the last one he had was he asked me if his younger brother, who's 1, when he starts speaking, will he speak in English or Spanish? That one confused the fuck out of me.
You got to teach your 1-year-old Spanish now.
I was just like, what? Dude?
Like, where did we get this one from?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Whatever he chooses.
It's just like,
Yeah.
which one is he going to be doing?
Did you hit the SAP button on this thing?
So yeah, I'm in that phase. Yeah, when he responds with "You're the adult," You should tell me. Oh, also, what are spider webs made out of?
Ugh.
I said cum.
Yeah, spider cum.
Yeah. He was
That actually
and
is
then he
my
asked what that
Firefest.
was. Yeah.
Spider cum?
No,
Oh.
spiders are back with a vengeance.
Oh yeah, you got a lot of spiders.
and
You're gonna eat 'em.
I think it's with a vengeance.
Just fucking spray them, dude.
I have. They keep coming. Like that's the problem.
Blowtorch them.
I ordered some smelling things that apparently might keep them away.
No, those never work.
So is it still contained on your balcony?
I've taken them out. I took them out last year, got rid of them, and then a couple weeks ago, saw some webs, broomed them out, and then last weekend, like I went out last night and they're back. So it's like they're fighting back, and now I'm worried that they're mobilizing and like gonna
They're mobilizing.
100% they are.
They're talking to each other. Yeah.
they're gonna invade.
What about what was that book? Charlotte's Web. Get a pig. No, they'll become best friends.
Did that end up well?
Charlotte died.
Fuck.
Yeah, but the pig I think lived
Oh, speaking of Charlotte.
until he became bacon.
Speaking of Charlotte, have you guys heard the news? The Stingray update.
I only get it from you.
This
You're
this,
the only
this
news source
fucking,
I
this
have on-
fucking aquarium. A journalist went there asking some of the same questions I've been asking for the last 3-4 months. What just fell?
Fuck
The
just
Lucy
fell.
Lounge is down.
Oh, all right. We gotta fix that.
A journalist went there being like, when's this fucking stingray going to squirt out the pups? And you know what the aquarium did? They called the cops on the journalist.
Oh wow.
And now they're muting all the
China?
comments. Yeah.
China.
Yeah, there's something fishy's going on at the aquarium. That's
Damn.
that's what I'm saying.
Damn. That's
TFT
crazy.
was right.
By the way, we should have mentioned on Tuesday's show, R.I.P. Harambe, 8 years.
Yeah.
8-year anniversary.
Gone too soon.
All right, Jake, finish us off.
Yeah, I have a new addiction.
Uh-oh.
A few years
Pussy?
ago, it
Oh,
was an nasal spray.
yeah.
I mean,
Cocaine.
no.
Oh, mushrooms because you were in Amsterdam?
No.
Oh.
Oh, prostitutes.
Yeah. There you go, Jake. I
No.
don't like you get wet.
What stuff,
Do it.
Mr. Position?
Ah, come on, Jake.
No. This one I actually think is relatable to you guys, but no free ads. But a certain snack company has been sending a lot of their product.
I'll
Oh,
say
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
I'll say
Dots.
dots.
They
Dots
fucking rock.
pretzels.
Because after the interview with McShay, I was like, I would stand on the table in terms of snacks in my war room for Dots pretzels.
Yeah. Also, I do want them to advertise with
Yes.
us. Can you please send us some of the pork rinds because those are no carbs and they are so good.
I haven't had those yet.
Oh my god, they're
Their
so good.
cinnamon sugar pretzels are the most addicting thing I've ever had. I went to the store the other day.
But Jake, you also haven't had any drugs.
Right.
but still,
I
like,
have zero addictions.
I've never been addicted to a snack more than this, and it's dangerous.
It's crack. Now it's crack.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
They're all good. They're so.
Advertise with us, Dots.
Yeah, the
I will
cinnamon
never
sugar.
Do it.
We'll never say your name again after giving you
Yeah, we're never saying it
thousands
again.
of dollars.
We're never
for
saying
free
it again.
advertising.
Also send us the pork rinds.
Yeah, so it's been. I got to watch myself, but they're delicious.
They are good.
You're fine.
I don't know.
I hoard those things on airplanes too. You want a small thing of pretzels? Yeah, I'll take 3.
Yeah.
I'll just put them in my pocket.
Yeah.
Have them later.
We're gonna start smelling Jake's fingers.
I already do.
Cinnamon
Every morning.
Pussy or Dots. It's a game we play with Jake every morning.
It's always Dots.
Mondays it's pussy. What do you got, Max? Are you saying something? You're about to say something?
Buy your Father's Day merch.
Yes.
Last day.
Last day. You got to buy it now, and you'll get it in time for Father's Day. We have a
Yep.
ton of awesome stuff in
This
the
one's
store.
on sale.
Shout out all the dads. Also,
It's Kyrie's dad.
great
Hank, get those shirts that are
Lucky.
right next to the camera.
great Father's Day this year. U.S. Open final round.
Nope.
Final round.
Right next to Big Cat's camera.
Yeah,
At Pinehurst.
at Pinehurst. We played that.
All right,
course.
Hank likes that shirt. You should get that shirt for
That's
Pinehurst
not.
for
That's
yourself.
Stella
kinda
Blue. That's my.
Yep. Nope.
Nope. Okay. Thank you. That's a sick coat, right?
This thing is. Wait, what?
Yeah, someone made that for me.
This is in the
Fucking
store?
Awesome. No.
Oh.
Yeah, we're selling sport coats for my coffee company. Max has to come in here and do everything for Hank. Look at that. Max.
Oh, I actually wore this shirt today.
Nice.
Got a lot of compliments.
Nice. New Mountains are blue. Go buy them. Father's Day merch. Got to buy it now. Go to store.barstoolsports.com. All right, great show, boys. Let's do what? What are you going to do? Max, go back to your seat. Go back to your seat. I haven't said anything. Numbers.
18.
20.
3.
56.
8.
56.
Oh, shit. He got 56.
99 Pug.
42.
21.
What was that?
42.
42. I have 20. Max, would you like to trade with me?
No, but PFT, my voice, I'm worried.
What?
Oh, Max is singing with us tomorrow night.
Oh, no.
And
My voice
he's worried about his
my
voice.
voice just went right there.
Just don't talk.
Yeah.
Just stop talking.
Max, would you like to trade with me? I'll give you an option.
No.
20 for 56. Straight up.
No.
Okay. What was your number, PFT?
I did 8.
What was everyone else in the booth?
18, 99 Pug.
How many
21.
songs is he doing?
3.
He's doing one song.
3.
I've never seen
3.
someone more nervous for something in my entire life.
You just did your one-man show in Las Vegas that you spent 6 months talking about.
Literally ruined our life for half a year.
That's what I'm saying though. That was 60 minutes. If it was 2,
Oh, Hank.
40.
Oh, my. Oh, no, you said
Fuck.
42.
Damn.
42.
Jordy 40.
You were so close.
I should have done it.
You were so close. I actually was also pretty close because 2 times 20 is 40.
I was too
Max,
off.
you were not close. Also, you've never gotten it.
Love you guys.